In a world where Carolina Panthers fans have an insatiable thirst for Panthers news and opinions, only one podcast roars ferociously. It's the C3 Panthers Podcast.
Mic check, mic check. C3 Panthers Podcast brought to you by CarolinaCatChronicles.com. Every Tuesday night, we chop up the latest Panthers news and opinions from the fan perspective. Tonight's show, the GREAT Panther restructuring. Negotiating, navigating this salary cap. People will tell us. I don't know. What will they tell us, Cody? Last name. Welcome back to another fantastic episode of the longest running Panthers podcast. My wheelman, my co-host, Cody Lashney. Thanks for joining me.
Tony Dunn, you just mentioned it, man. How is there this much to talk about? It seems like, we're in the off season. There's not much normally for us to discuss, but man, it's a Tuesday night. And as always, there is a ton to discuss, Tony. And you know what? We're going to do it with the best Panther fans in all of YouTube. You know him and love him. It's our man, Drew, Alex Stark, Andrew Park, Antoine Henderson, ATX19, Blake Bettis, Carolina M, Joey the Blind Panther Esquivel, Mark Carson, Matt Knows Nothing, Mr. Bombastic, Off Grid, Paul Mancini, Supreme Leader, Thomas Tomlinson, Tim.
Look at this roll call.
Man,
Off-season roll call.
Man, the whole crew, and last but not least, Tim Estes, Tony Dunn. Ain't nothing to it but to do it, brother. Let's roll.
Ooh, wow, man. My man is feeling good tonight. Panther fans have a lot to talk about. And Greg, the Bat Daddy, the Stat Daddy 52, I went and saw the new Batman.
Oh, how'd you like it?
I took my entire family.
Nice.
I took my dad. It's kind of like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to spend some time. You know, you like do something, like, you got to find a way to keep it. I said, Dad, my dad loves movies. So let me take you this Batman. I took my kids. We snuck in the candy like we always do.
Got
Hey,
you.
that's how you're supposed to
Tradition.
do it.
3-hour movie, and I got zero complaints. Zero complaints. And when I say zero complaints, I have a lot of compliments about this. I felt like it was a very cinematic. It was like I felt like it was a very modern film.
Yes, based off it's a great interpretation of this book.
Really?
Yep.
Dope. So I was trying to figure out, do I like the boots or not? Like, my man got regular boots on.
Yeah.
Do I like the regular boots or not? And I think I do. The only qualm I have with this entire movie is I feel like his suit may be a little too bulletproof. He got shot like 9,000 times up in that movie, and it was like no problem.
I was discussing.
That's my only qualm.
I was discussing it with Cody and CK, and I told them that I had a problem with the suit, but I didn't want to give anything away. And that's exactly it. Yes,
it's not the suit. It's not the design. It's just like, is this a real engineering feat that could happen? That's all.
It's Batman, though. Bruce Wayne would make a suit like that.
It's a great movie.
But
you're absolutely
But you
right.
got regular leather boots on. You got regular. You bought them mugs at the Payless. His boots he bought at the Payless, and then his suit fended off 50 calibers for a bazillion years. All right, CK, welcome to the show, my man. Is that a Patagonia hat? Is that what that is?
No. It's a Stone Mountain hat. He's another streamer on Facebook. Basically the streamer on Facebook. Yeah, man. Happy to be here with you guys. Hopefully
Welcome
you
back.
guys are having a fantastic weekend and week, and it's been beautiful weather. Have you guys been able to get outside and actually enjoy it at all?
Yeah. Hell yeah. I went for a run yesterday. Yeah, man, it's been cool. We actually had to turn our air conditioning on.
Nice.
Yeah. Same.
Do you believe that?
I didn't turn the AC on. I just turned the heat off. I was like, I'll be a little
That's
hot.
tough. I got like 80 87 here one day or something. It was like 84. So it
You
was
get that hot
tough.
here. Yeah.
All right. So let's get into the show. The number is 252-228-5098. You can call into the longest running Panthers podcast, the C3 Panthers podcast, where every Tuesday night we chop up the latest Panthers news and opinions from the fan perspective. There has been a lot of football news breaking. Cody,
Yes, sir.
what's going down with the Panthers, man? What's the top news?
Let's
Tell
jump
me.
right into this. The name of our show tonight is the Great Panther Restructuring. And, Scott Fitterer has been going to work. It has been reported. Well, it's official. The Panthers have reconstructed the contract of right tackle Taylor Moton. This move added $11 million to Carolina's salary cap. Then, on top of that, the Panthers cleared $5 million in salary cap after restructuring Shaq Thompson. There's potential that the Panthers can create even more space by restructuring $2.4 million of Pat Elflin's contract with no dead money. So look, the Panthers are making moves. We're trying to get some money to be able to spend on, not only free agency, but our draft picks and just building the rest of this team the way it needs to be built. So, what does everyone think about this? Do you see these dollars going towards certain positions? Is this going towards potentially a quarterback? What do you think this means for the Panthers going forward?
I think it just opens up options, to be honest with you. It's always nice to
Great
have the
point.
cap room on hand. It may not necessarily mean they're going for somebody, but it's a lot easier. It's just like I said, it's just like being at a poker table, man. It's a lot easier to play poker when you're not small stack.
It also makes it a little easier to eat that $18 million that we have to worry about paying Sam Darnold if, in fact, we do have to get rid of him. I think that, like you said, it gives us options. I think that is a primary example of what an option would really look like. It may not necessarily mean we're freeing up big money for a free agent, but it might make it a little easier on the eyes when it talks about, how much we're going to end up having to pay him this year.
Helps us in the short term, right? Like it helps us now.
Yeah.
To go get a guard maybe or whatever we need to do. Like this is a move for immediacy. Because when you restructure, and maybe I'm wrong, I don't know enough about the contracts to be like an agent or anything, but restructuring ultimately suggests that you're extending the contract life and you're finding a way to manipulate the cap so it doesn't hit the cap. So you say, hey, we guaranteed to pay you, or not guaranteed, but like you have this much left on your contract. We want to take the same contract. We want to turn it into a 2-year contract. You're going to make the same exact amount of money, but it's not going to hurt the cap as much.
Right.
So I feel like this is a short-term move. That means this is ultimately freeing up some cap space now to kick the can down later. And the scary part to me about this, it's not scary, is I just don't even know if it's going to help. I'm tired of dead money. Looking at that fucking spot rack or the over the cap, and you see like we're still paying. Who's that safety we love a lot? He's talking all the time about the Panthers. Come on, like he was on.
Who's on the team? Trey Boston.
Trey Boston, yes. Like we were still paying Trey Boston like 2 years after he even played a snap because we restructured. So we are freeing money up now, but like it extends it, I think.
Right.
Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah. And I think also, it's worth noting some of the bigger things that happened today around the NFL, because I think it does potentially tie back into this. So Russell Wilson is officially a Denver Bronco now. The Seattle Seahawks traded Russell Wilson to the Denver Broncos for Drew Lock, Noah Fant, and one other player. I forget who it is off the tip of my tongue. But yeah, this is and apparently they sent a bunch of first round picks as well. So it even has you wondering, what are the potentials of the Panthers trying to clear room and dollars so that way they might be in the market for a quarterback? I'll play a video later, but and I said this to CK before the show, there are still rumors about the Panthers' continued interest in Deshaun Watson, which is something that, I mean, even as as recent as an hour ago, I've heard more news about it. Joe Person just wrote a bit about it in his most recent article for the Observer. So, potentially this could be the Panthers stockpiling, money and picks to be able to take on the contract of a bigger player too.
I saw a tweet and I haven't verified any of this, so I'm just looking at social media. And I saw a tweet that said that they're suspecting that the Deshaun Watson will not end in criminal charges, which means like, hey, we can kind of proceed with this.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, this name, think about this, is Aaron Rodgers got what he wanted. Big payday.
Yep.
And you want to talk about something? That's actually the biggest news. The big news, I know the Russell Wilson trade is a lot of movement between two teams. Aaron Rodgers' contract is dope. I'm an Aaron Rodgers fan, and not because like he is so arrogant and chauvinistic. Like, I mean, I don't love that. This mug just signed a $200 million contract where they said this 100 and I think it was like 153 or 143. My boy sent me the numbers. I'm about to pull it up. But he's going to have 100, like once he signs the deal, he's going to make $143 million. Aaron Rodgers' contract might be the dopest contract in the history of the world. He's going to make like 97% of it. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what quarterbacks go for nowadays, man.
I'm not hating. I'm not hating. Think about this. He is about to make $143 million. $43 million just by signing a deal.
Yep. So, real quick, I said let's just go ahead and get this out of the way so that we don't have to spend the rest of the podcast talking about this that we've been talking about forever. You mentioned Deshaun.
Clarity on the Deshaun Watson legal situation and his eventual destination, which team of the Houston Texans going to trade him to. All of that is coming. First, the legal part of this, as colleague Tom Pelissero mentioned earlier, the district attorney investigating Deshaun Watson plans to present her case to the grand jury on Friday. Several women who filed criminal complaints against Deshaun Watson are expected to testify. Now, this is the same day that Watson has his civil deposition, so expect him to plead the fifth. So what he says essentially in the civil lawsuit cannot be in the criminal standard procedure when as it pertains to the legal situation there. But as for Deshaun Watson, we should find out on Friday if he is going to be officially charged criminally.
Friday?
There's the situation. He's going to be traded. And from my understanding, his market is still robust. One of the best quarterbacks in the NFL when he is on the field. Obviously did not play last year while the Houston Texans sorted his situation out. This is coming, and among the teams who are expected to have interest in Deshaun Watson, the Carolina Panthers, who've had interest really throughout, perhaps the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they could be interested as well. And there's a team in Seattle who may be interested. They have a quarterback need as well now. So people.
The more you hear that, the more it just kind of goes back to this thing where David Tepper is dead set on bringing a superstar quarterback to Carolina. And this kind of ties in with another one of my points that I'll make a little bit later in the show, revolving Charlotte FC. But I think it just speaks to the thirst that we have for the quarterback position and that we have to get better at that position. So I think right now, when you look at all these dollars that we've cleared, we're basically saying, okay, we know we have to fix the offensive line. We know we have to fix the quarterback position. Which order do you want to fix it in? Do you want to use those free agency dollars to get you some offensive linemen and then trade for a quarterback? Or do you want to take an offensive line in the draft? There's just a lot of options that the Panthers could seemingly still go through right now.
Do we really have the firepower to go get Deshaun Watson? No. Think about that. It's like you are talking about free agency money, which is fine. Like, imagine if we would go and get every free agent offensive lineman we could. Do we have the firepower, draft capital, to give them? We don't got the first, the seconds, and the thirds. Do we have the firepower to go all in? All in on Deshaun Watson is a sexy, sexy move. Oh my gosh. Bring it to this podcast. Jesus, Lord Jesus, I pray for that. That would make the C3 Panthers podcast brilliant and wonderful. But is it really plausible?
I don't think so. I mean, not without mortgaging the future of the franchise.
But I don't even think we have enough collateral. Like, we're going into the bank
future collateral
to try to. I mean, you can only go so far ahead.
Look at what
you can't be like, I'm going to trade the next 10 first-round picks. There's like a limit of 3 years.
But the next 2 first-round picks are still a pretty hefty price.
Yeah, I mean, you're getting a really good pick. I mean, this year, and you're looking at what would be. You're going to be giving away picks. I think 3 first rounds is probably the asking price at this point. I don't know they're going to get 3. I think the standard
right now is 3 now.
But I think it's going to also be that, we would be getting rid of somebody like Christian McCaffrey, right? Because we wouldn't be able to eat the salary that Deshaun Watson has and keep a guy like Christian McCaffrey and have his salary on the books as well.
We probably have to pay him to leave. I want the chat to tell us this. Tell us, chat. The number is 252-228-5098. What would it take right now to get Deshaun Watson? In the chat, the exact amount of picks, money, what other terms, like CK is saying, like, hey, we can give you picks and a player. We, some other things to juice the deal. But Deshaun Watson has not played in a bazillion. Imagine the pressure if you're Deshaun Watson and you come into an organization and they just gave up 3 first-round picks, Christian McCaffrey, and all this. Game 1 at home. Oh, my goodness gracious. What a pressure cooker. You might as well be in an Instapot.
Yeah, by the way, I think something interesting to go along with this discussion, and we'll talk about Wagner here in a second, but the Carolina Panthers are open to trading anyone but Brian Burns.
Wow.
That's something that has been reported. This is by Dean Jones of Cat Crave, but this is something that I've heard a lot too, that the Panthers are aware that they don't have a ton of firepower. So I think that's why you've heard rumors about Robbie Anderson potentially being up on the trade block. And this is honestly kind of a great segue into our next topic, because the Panthers have gotten multiple calls, apparently, about Christian McCaffrey, and teams wanting to know his availability and if he would be willing to trade him. The Panthers are apparently asking for at least a first-round pick plus another piece. So, maybe a player to go along with Christian McCaffrey. And, basically we have to wonder at this point whether or not it's worth it. If we're going to trade away assets, would you rather get picks and potentially another player in return for, giving away a running back who has been, has missed, I believe, 23 of the last 33 games that the Carolina Panthers have played. So,
I mean, many? Has it been that many?
Yeah, it's been that many. Man.
Well, it's just two. Basically, it's 2 seasons.
Yeah,
he's played a quarter of each season, right? Probably like 4 games out of 16. And say the numbers again. Say those numbers one more time.
How
many he played? You just gave a grade.
So he said he's played 23 of 33 games since, or he's missed 23 of 33 games since that breakout season that he had. I like this comment by Karen Choi too. She said, "Imagine building your entire team around the undersized running back just to end up eventually trading him away."
Oh, how fucking savage is that? So Jesus Christ. Yeah. Karen Choi came out and brought a bazooka out to this chat room. Jesus, that is savage, bro.
That was 100% savage.
And it's the truth too, man. I mean, it really shows you that
y'all gotta clip that, Karen. If you don't clip that and tell us about this show, like with that YouTube joint, if you don't do that, I am still sending you a camo.
At this point in time, it really goes back to any of this identity that the Panthers and Matt Rule have claimed to have had. It's really all been bullshit. They had an identity that they wanted to be an offense that got the football to Christian McCaffrey and spread out the football field. But as soon as you took him away, the rest of our offense just completely crumbled. My question to you is this. So let's look at it from a realistic perspective. If another team is going to trade for Christian McCaffrey, more than likely it's going to be a contending football team.
It has to be. That's the only thing that it helps. It does not help him.
2 of the teams that I have heard mentioned.
Put this mug on
the two of the teams I've heard mentioned are the San Francisco 49ers and the Buffalo Bills. The Buffalo Bills have been in desperate need of a running back. And dude, can you imagine an upgrade like that at the quarterback position? Dude, that would be
Christian McCaffrey deserves to be a Kansas City Chief.
Fuck that. Get him out of here.
Yeah.
No, I love Chris. I think the answer is to not trade him. I don't want to trade him. I think we need to just stick with him. Look, you're paying them. You're not really going to unload crazy amounts of money. You got a premier chip player. I don't want to get rid of him at all.
I don't either.
I would rather cut a negligent ass linebacker or something else to keep Christian McCaffrey. Like if it's $3 million that we're saving, then get the fuck out of here. Then I will find a way to make sure we got this great player other than having 2 bums.
Wow.
So here's the thing though, is you put this mug on the Chiefs with Andy Reid, who made LaShawn McCoy and all of that joint back in the day. Dude, Andy Reid had that Philly shit cooking. I'm telling you. I almost feel guilty for having Christian McCaffrey on this team.
Yeah.
It's like the Steve Smith saga. We just ruined a fucking phenomenally great player
because we got Matt Rule as a coach. Is the mindset behind keeping him that is like, shit, if we're either going to have a brand new free agent quarterback or a brand new quarterback through the draft, it's like you might as well just take a gamble on Christian staying healthy and just hope.
Yes, and he's the greatest fucking player in the league.
Quarterback is, yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't look is say
can he stay healthy?
Think about this. Imagine if you lived in a home where you had a certain allowance for your budget. Think about a budget, like your rent, your car, and this and that. And you had the most bomb ass diggity dog car on the block. And you could, man, like, all right, your pay went down. Something happened in your life where you shrank a little bit. You weren't as cool as you were before. Like, I would feel like I would cut Netflix out before I sold my Mercedes. So what I'm trying to say is that like, yes, you could save $8 to kill Christian McCaffrey to another team, and it would help that team. He probably is going to have a bounce back. Like, why don't we trim the fat somewhere else?
Well, the flip side to that argument is, Tony, is that whenever you sell that Mercedes, instead of cutting Netflix, now you can watch your Netflix on a 70-inch 4K flat screen TV in a recline, in a leather recliner.
Come on,
that's the flip side of the argument.
I mean,
the other part is
progress. Greg put the progress argument up in
and shout out to Drew in the chat. He said, put this up there. You would save $12 million against the cap this year if you traded Christian McCaffrey. Dead cap of $7 to $9 million. Drew says trade his ass. And I understand the logic of that too. It gives you opportunities to continue to bolster other positions. Like, imagine, okay, let me ask you this, right? We've all
fuck that, man. Fuck what? Sorry, I gotta tell my man Drew. You just cut Christian McCaffrey to free up space to sign Ian Thomas.
No, but
that's the exact number. He said $7 million, $8 million. Like, I'm just sorry. I will try to find a different way. I'm not selling my grandma's wedding ring first. I'm going to sell
back a player like Stephon Gilmore or Hassan Reddick. You know, but
not even close, man. Christian McCaffrey more valuable than both of those dudes.
Oh, I disagree, man.
I promise. Stephon Gilmore has been just as hurt as Christian McCaffrey. I don't want to hear that shit. He has been a piece of
corner
fucking glass. No. All right. I disagree. I'm just going to disagree with this point. What we got to talk about else?
Well, I mean,
what's your conclusion about this? Should the Panthers trade Christian McCaffrey or not? My answer is absolutely no. I think we've already paid him. We paid the money. Let's fucking ride this bitch out. And he ain't even old.
The other part is like, you know, I'd like to at least, maybe this is the optimism in me, but number one, I feel like there's no shot that he's going to have the same issue a third year, right? Because these are all
he's coming back, bro. He's going to be dominant.
I mean, they're free. They were all free, injuries that were not related to one another. It's not like it was a recurring injury like Cam had on his foot or anything, or Greg
or the shoulder, or but you know what? Neither of them were debilitating either.
Right,
the kind of soft tissue, like you feel like these are recoverable injuries. Like if you got your arm ripped off and we put it back on, then I would talk to you.
And let's talk about the idea that that we talk about. There were question marks around whether CMC was actually injured towards the end of both of those years. Right? How many of those games were just him being held out? And that's something like it was the lost season already. There's no point. And listen, I mean, I think that there is a reality to that as well. I think that there's also the reality that teams play us differently with Christian McCaffrey in the lineup. Like it's just he changes how defenses scheme you, and he opens up so much more. And I think that's worth keeping on your team, especially number one. Another moving part to this is if we decide to go with the rookie QB, or if we're going to keep Sam Darnold, right? Or whatever that may be, whatever our QB situation is, having a Christian McCaffrey that is healthy is going to help tremendously. And so we're going to find out, I guess, a little more about what any quarterback we get and what they're capable of doing. I'm hoping we can keep them upright, because that's going to be the biggest challenge I think we're going to face.
Yeah. And by the way, I started these two comments. Shout out
Come
to
on,
Tizzy
bring it. I'm ready
says
for this
if McCaffrey goes to the Bills or Chiefs, watch all of a sudden he stays healthy throughout the season.
He will. He'll be the fucking GOAT.
Maybe.
And then Drew, go ahead.
I'm ready for that.
I was just going to go ahead and put the other one, then I'll say it.
Okay, so and then Drew with the comeback, he says, "Hey Tony, tell me the last time a high-priced running back led his team to a Super Bowl." I'll wait. And that's the point, man. These running backs, as good as they are, you don't win Super Bowls with high-priced running backs. It just doesn't happen, man. They're replaceable. And another good point that somebody made in the chat room, too, let's just say this is the last year that it's possible for the Panthers to receive a first-round draft pick in return for Christian McCaffrey. Theoretically, his value might never be higher than it is right now. So it goes back to
that might be the best argument I've heard so far.
Yeah,
that might be the best argument, but I still have counter arguments then.
Well, I mean, there's good points to both. I mean, no one's denying the man is incredible when he's healthy. Our offense is night and day different.
Getting a 28th pick for him is not that cool, though.
That's the thing is,
it's cool, but it's not like it might be Moneyball, but it ain't that cool.
Well, the heart in me wants to keep CNC, and that's my heart talking, but my head tells me that if I can get value now out of him, it's easier to replace him because we haven't had him for the last 2 years. I'm sorry. I love CMC, and I want him to stay. And if he stays, I want him to be more of a slot receiver. Again, I saw an article the other day of Fitterer talking about that, about him moving more to a slot receiver role if he stays with us. So,
F that, guys. F that. I'm going to tell you why. Here's why. Like, look, you made great points. Value now. I do think that is like the best point that I've heard about the Christian McCaffrey debate is like, next year, if he gets hurt again, you ain't gonna get shit for him.
Yeah, you're not getting,
and
you're paying all that money for him.
But the problem I have with that discussion is that's presupposing we're building in the right way for a long-term plan, right? Like you're playing chess, looking ahead. But everything the Panthers have done has been looking for the now. Yeah. They have been looking for, all these restructures and free agents. What are they restructuring Shaq Thompson and Taylor Moton's deal for 2 years from now? No, they're doing it for this year. All of these moves are short term. We've seen this. Matt Rule has told us, what is Matt Fool, whatever his damn name. I don't even like to even think about him. I don't even like to even see his face in my head anymore. And I feel bad about that. I should not dislike somebody this much. Anyway, so everything they have showed us, Cody, is short-term thinking. Yeah. That's everything they've showed us. They have, in fact, the best thing we heard from Rat Mule was on WFNZ at the end of the season, where he tried to explain the past plan, the past PAST plan. And it sounded awesome. And they didn't do it. He told us this plan they were going to do, and they did not do it. Everything the Carolina Panthers have tried to say is they say we want to build for the future, and they make moments for now.
Yeah,
that's the fucking problem, bro. So that's why I'm against it, bro. It's a now moment. And here's the thing. If we're on the back, the way I like to think about players is this. If we're on the back porch and we're picking teams, who you picking? I'm picking Christian McCaffrey. So my point is this, is that Matt Fool has told us that he is trying to build it the right way, but everything he has shown us is for the right now. So they're going to try to get a quarterback. They're going to try to do something this. I want Christian McCaffrey then. I want him on this team. I would rather. So I don't think we're building for the long term. Trading him away, would be maybe right money ball, but not right now for Matt Fool.
Yeah, and then I'll just say this on Christian McCaffrey. If we're able to get a first-round pick, like let's say we end up drafting a quarterback, you take Malik Willis at 6, and then you take a good offensive lineman, maybe like a Trevor Penning later in the draft, and you're able to continuously build on both the quarterback and offensive line position. You also add on top of that, we might trade Robbie Anderson at some point down the road and get even more capital to be able to get some more guys too. There's a lot of good running backs coming through the draft this year. There's really fast receivers. Like, there are ways to continue to upgrade the offense without having to, be so dependent upon the players that we have right now. And we can free up some more money in the process. But
I want to ask one question, and that is, all right, so one of the negatives about Christian McCaffrey is his position. So you don't like to sink so much money and cost into the running back position. It is, again, the money ball type perspective. But right now, Robbie Anderson is probably making the equivalent. Like, if we pull their contracts up on this 1 year basis, he probably is in the same ballpark as Christian McCaffrey.
I'll pull it up.
Pull it up. Yeah, Greg.
Wait, who is?
I bet you. Look, Robbie Anderson signed a 2 year, $30 million deal. And this is off the top of my head. So he probably made $16 million. And I wonder what Christian McCaffrey is slated to make. And I understand that the running back position is paid less than the wide receiver, but I would much rather allocate my $16 million to Christian McCaffrey than Robbie Anderson. That's what I'm trying to say. Is like, I understand the Moneyball argument, but we got to keep Christian McCaffrey. You're not going to get enough for him. Actually, it's like having a great baseball card that is worth a lot, but you don't have any buyers. So some asshole's like, I'll give you $50 for it. And you need money.
Next year, Robbie Anderson is scheduled to make $10 million, and Christian McCaffrey's $8.4 million next year.
Robbie Anderson's gonna make more money than Christian McCaffrey.
Isn't that crazy?
All right.
Christian McCaffrey has a higher signing bonus, but not by much, and it still puts Robbie Anderson's signing bonus puts him in almost 14
Can you share it? Can you share the screen?
Yeah.
Let's see it. Let's look at this contract real quick. That's my point here, man. Is like, yes, like this sounds cool for Twitter GMs to say we need to trade Christian McCaffrey. But at the end of the day, is like, are you really saving $1.5 million? Like, that's it? Then I'd just rather keep him.
Yeah, so there's your salary cap breakdown. Sam Darnold, 18.8, Robbie Anderson, 10, Christian McCaffrey, 8.4, DJ Moore, 11. That's the only ones who are making double digits, and Christian McCaffrey's not even in the double digits. The only one making double digits is DJ Moore, Robbie Anderson, and Sam Darnold. 3 highest paid players on our team.
And hey, so this is news that the chat room broke to me, and then I went and found it and confirmed it on Twitter. Wanted to get everyone's opinion on this. Today's been a big news day for the Seattle Seahawks. 8-time All-Pro and Pro Bowl linebacker Bobby Wagner, a franchise icon. They are informed him that they're releasing him. Wagner arrived in Seattle on the same 2012 day as Russell Wilson, now leaves on the same day. And I think, the reason Panther fans...
Oh, let's talk about these QBs.
But the reason about the linebackers, the reason why Panther fans are freaking out about it is like there was always that comparison between Bobby Wagner and Luke Kuechly. Yeah, and it's like, man, we're missing Luke Kuechly terribly right now. And yeah, Bobby Wagner might still be a little long in the tooth, but man, if you put him right in the middle next to Shaq Thompson, that might not be a bad signing for Carolina.
I want to see that. You know why I want to see it is because I feel like Luke Kuechly and Bobby Wagner are the Biggie Smalls and Tupac of linebackers. Like, they're both like the greatest rappers you've had. Like, you know what I'm saying? But you just gravitate to one or the other because of whatever circumstances in your life. Like, I mean, obviously I'm East Coast. I'm from North Carolina, but my mom's from Queens. Like I think I'm cool for liking East Coast rap more. You know what I'm saying? Like a kind of a stick. But like if I was from California, I would have been probably all on that Tupac train like crazy. These two linebackers like are insanely awesomely great. Yep. So it's kind of like East Coast, West Coast on this.
Would you be interested in bringing Bobby Wagner on a 2-year deal?
Yes.
I mean, like, why would you not? But still, it's a little late. A little long in the tooth, bro.
Yeah,
like, it's not going to make me overly.
Right, but you got to
the same.
Hey. Look who's our middle linebacker.
No one knows.
Jermaine Carter Jr. Yeah, man, but
all right. What's next? What we got to talk about next? Let's keep moving. We're gonna keep moving. We're gonna get this done. We got calls. The number's 252-228-5098. 252-228-5098. Aaron Rodgers, not on the move, staying at home. Told you guys, bro. Told you he was not gonna do that. Russell Wilson blockbuster trade from Seattle to Denver. What's up with the Panthers, though, Cody? Tell us what's next.
Yeah, so CK, you busy?
Ooh. No, I just got back. Sorry, I took a step away.
No, you're good. See,
we're shaming you first.
We've got these people in the chat room, and dude, like, we want to talk about the Panthers. Because, that's what this is. This is a Panthers podcast. And they're all like, oh, please shame us, Papa, with your golden boys. So, whatever, dude. It's like, we want to talk about the Panthers, but if that's what y'all want, then fine. Just have what you want. Talk to these little dirty fools, CK. Talk to them.
This is some bullshit. All these people getting quarterbacks and the Carolina Panthers just sitting here on a quarterback just... What do you call it? A drought? A quarterback drought? We haven't seen a good quarterback play in a Carolina Panthers uniform since Cam Newton 2017, and it's starting to get on my nerves. But you guys continue to show up. You watch the show every week. You listen to the show after we've gone live on Spotify or wherever we're at. I don't even know. We're all over the place. But you don't hit the like button on the YouTube. You don't hit that like button on that Spotify or whatever platform you're listening to your podcasts on. Why are you not subscribing? Why are you not hitting that like button? This next thing is meant for all of you motherfuckers. Subscriber shame.
Subscriber shame. 126 strong viewers in the chat. 50 thumbs up. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe. Hit that notification bell. Hey, that gets us moving into algorithm, baby. Put some rhythm into our algorithm. That's what we need you to do. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe for all your Panthers news and content. We're going to continue to bless you all year long with Panther news and opinion from the fan perspective. Tony Dunn, you asked me what is next on the docket. Do you want to go to the next topic, or do you want to take calls?
Take me to the next topic, and then I'll.
All right, so bro, we need to figure out what the hell is going on with Rock Hill.
Big time. And this is a big important story.
Our new state, the training facility.
Headquarters,
yeah, the headquarters for the Carolina.
Who is the
Panthers.
demon here? What I want to know is this: who is the bad guy? Think about this. This is Robber Baron. David Tepper, is multi-quadrillion gazillionaire versus Little Rock Hill, South Carolina. Who's the bad guy?
Yeah, so the Carolina Panthers are pausing work on the $800 million practice facility and team headquarters in Rock Hill. Construction on the 240-acre site began in summer 2020 and was supposed to wrap up sometime in 2023. The article would later go on to say that given the economic realities, the difficult but prudent decision has been made to pause the project. the ongoing work will continue with our partners to find an economically acceptable solution for all parties to continue the project in Rock Hill. So basically, this is an enormous public-private development, undoubtedly one of the largest and most expensive in the Carolinas. David Tepper said it's his goal to make the development not just for a team facility, but an entertainment destination where fans can connect and interact. So apparently the Rock Hill didn't put forth the money that they were supposed to in order for them to continue working. A lot of people are wondering and speculating, why didn't that money go through? Then you have people, saying that this is embarrassing for Rock Hill, and really this has a lot of egg on their face. But I mean, I want to ask you guys, who did you blame for this? Do you think this, has signs of more misgivings, or what does this mean to you all? You think?
I want the other guys to take it because, I want to just get a natural reaction because
I'll be
have
happy
big time feelings about this.
I'll give you my natural reaction to this. My natural reaction is initially David Tepper, not because I think that Rock Hill isn't doing their part, right? Because I think that that's probably a big part of it, but I also think that Rock Hill is at basically. The part where they're at fault is if they bid on this and they were able to say, hey, listen, we came to this agreement and they came to the agreement and they aren't following through with the terms, it's 100% on them. But from a person who's looking at it from a small guy type of mindset, let's be real about it. Look at the money that David Tepper is making, and he's asking for a handout for his headquarters that he is going to profit from. Now, there might be some tax revenue that comes into the city, and that's where the value comes in for them. But they're not getting an investment share of this headquarters. It's not like they're getting a percentage of it. So I believe, in my personal opinion, 100% of the cost should fall solely on the person getting the investment or who's going to be the 100% owner in the property. And that is David Tepper, or Tepper Sports and Entertainment.
Yeah. By the way, our guy Nick Montero, who works in construction, says the bad guy is the owner. Owner holds all responsibility. He controls what gets installed and who installs it. A smart business owner would have planned accordingly. Now, I'm also reading this article too. It's saying that the state of South Carolina is giving the team $115 million in tax breaks, and York County is giving $225 million in tax breaks for the project's infrastructure. Yeah, go ahead, Greg. That's crazy.
I was just going to say I really didn't know how I felt about it. I was kind of on the fence, and I really needed a little more insight into it. But CK, you just sold me. I'm on your side, buddy. I agree with you.
Here's the thing is that I guess it's sort of what language inside. I have so much opinions on this. So they announced it this way.
Before you go, Tony, can I add a last little message from Henry McMaster, the governor? He says he's confident that the locals and the Panthers will quickly resolve any outstanding issues and the construction will resume. So take that for what it's worth.
This, like if we were multi-billionaires or whatever David Tepper is, the best description of him, we would be, this is about liquidity a lot. You know what I'm saying? Is who's floating the cash at what time. That's what it is. And so the Panthers are saying they didn't make this payment. And then Rock Hill saying we didn't know we were supposed to make this payment. But then you also have to think about this deal being struck in the context of pre-COVID. Tax revenues have probably gone down substantially, I would guess. I'm watching David Tepper. I don't think he's making $1 bazillion. I don't think he's just swimming in it right now. I mean, he is swimming, but I'm looking at where his investments are. They're probably sound, but I don't think that he's just swimming in the money. So I think this is a leverage move from Tepper needing liquidity.
Dude, Tepper is the richest owner in the NFL.
Well, he was at one point. Who knows what he is now? I mean, he bought this soccer team,
right?
He bought like all this, and maybe his wealth is going up, and I'm sure it's like increasing versus inflation. But some of this is just about the cash money, the straight cash money. That's what he is arguing with Rock Hill over. And I think some of it's got to do with like who's gonna pay for the power, who's gonna pay for the sewage, just like some other things like this. But you got to think that Rock Hill is probably not just doing great right now in the pandemic. And this is just muscle back and forth. And I'm tired of crying for rich people. I don't want to, and I'm not saying that I want their life to be worse. I'm not saying that. I don't want his life to be worse. But look, if David Tepper got the smallest violin in the room, I believe it.
And I think we need to address this because I think there's a lot of belief that the mayor of Rock Hill actually said these statements. The mayor of Rock Hill did not say that that's all satirical. What you heard was absolutely hysterical. But it is
great. This is the best shit ever.
Look, I have this right here. I actually shout out to Joe Riolano, co-founder of the C3 Panther podcast. He's the one that sent this to me. As much as we wish that this shit was real, I'm sorry to tell you that it isn't. But it is real. Great nonetheless. Breaking. Rock Hill Mayor confirms no more payments to Panthers. Rock Hill's identity is championship football, the mayor said. I told that billionaire with his hand out that losing might be acceptable in Charlotte, but not in Football City, USA. No playoffs, no payments. Dude, that is... Could you imagine if the mayor actually said that shit? That might be the most legendary shit of all time.
I would absolutely have loved that.
Real, man.
I would have literally had Rock Hill on my list of places I'd want to move to after hearing something like that. Like
it is one of the most legendary things though. It's just satire, but it's like the best satire you can imagine. I mean, think about that. Like, that is a great joke. Like if you wrote that tweet, you gotta walk out. You walking big chested, homie, into life.
He would go on to say, "I simply told Mr. Tepper that when he finds a quarterback, we might find our checkbook. It's that simple."
I mean, look at that. Like, who is this person? We need the C3 Nation or whatever you call it. We need these cats to go find us who this was. We need him on the show. We need to talk to the author of these tweets right here.
Adam O'Daniel.
Adam O'Daniel, you have a free welcome and a permanent invitation to this show. We need you on the show, bro. Straight up. That is the funniest. It doesn't get much more funny than that.
Hey, just so you know, Tony, Tepper is swimming in money. He is definitely swimming in money. In 2021, he was number 49 on the Forbes top 400 list. He's number 142 on the billionaires list in the world, and he's number 3 highest earnings fund manager. Like, he's still swimming in money, man. This guy's got a net worth of $15.8 billion.
Like this whole
it's doubled. It is doubled since I said his name.
This whole this whole thing of this whole stopping production on the Rock Hill just screams billionaire having a tantrum. Like, in my mind, like here's the thing. And I don't know if you guys have ever experienced this, but people with money. I used to work for Wells Fargo. The worst people that you would ever talk to are people with money. Not because they had money and they were
cry
cocky.
Louder than anybody.
They
They're
are the biggest
bitches.
complainers when it comes to a $10 charge that the bank assessed to them that everybody gets because they hit because they have certain requirements. They are the ones that will call in 99% of the time. And this is to Tepper's credit. And this is a lesson I've learned. Millionaires didn't become millionaires by giving away their fortune, right? Like
true, there are some cheap ass motherfuckers,
right? And so there are, and even when they are altruistic, 9 times out of 10, it's for tax purposes, right? So let's be real about
like
things.
here is the thing: is I don't want to criticize anyone for giving away their money, right? Like I mean, like I don't want to criticize someone for donating and or even investing. What I just don't want to hear is this: is that you're crying, you're pausing the production because our pocketbooks kind of shrank a little bit during COVID, and Rock Hills didn't. Like, I mean, like it's just like who? Like, wait a second. Imagine if you go to dinner, and we all are a little upset that was a little bit more expensive we wanted. You know what I'm saying? Like we all could kind of afford to be there. We probably should not have gone there. But the motherfucker that has no he could buy the restaurant is like, oh my God, I cannot, but man, it was just such a overinvestment. Oh my God, this check. Like he went and complained at the Applebee's. He's like, 2 for $22. Way too much.
Do you kind of get the feeling that Tepper is
bitch? I don't even like him right now. I don't like him.
Do you kind of get the feeling that Tepper is over owning an NFL franchise and his focuses are more on just the profit side of it? So for instance, he is no longer that like the allure that he had of like, oh, I've always wanted to own an NFL team. This is like a bit, a childhood dream come true. That's over. Right.
He's not a retired bazillionaire, man. He's an active bazillionaire.
Right. And so
he's trying to parlay this shit into more and more and more money.
Which is why you're seeing, and that's where I'm saying, like, I could see the Panthers becoming a second thought to him. Is he going to get rid of it? No. Right. I think he's still going to maintain it because it's going to give him access to Bank of America.
Like he could sell his own team out to subsidize some other venture. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like he could sell one child for another child.
Like, for instance, the football club that, may lead us into the next conversation. I don't know if we talked about it while I was away.
Oh, come on, Cody. Take us into that real quick.
Yeah,
I got the call queued up.
Yeah. But I mean, when you see what Cody's about to talk about, I could see a legitimate scenario, an argument that can be made that David Tepper is going to have way more interest in the other ventures, such as the concerts and this new soccer team for those who aren't familiar with the football club. So let's talk about what Cody wants to talk about and how big this is for Charlotte.
Yeah. So listen, I mean, I'm in Charlotte. Okay. I mean, the guys know they've been to my house before. I'm a hop, skip, and a jump away from Panthers.
It's so close. We can walk to the stadium.
So when I tell you that Charlotte was a buzz with, for the home opener of Charlotte FC, I mean, I'm telling you, man, it was reported. I mean, it was a real moment for Bank of America Stadium. I'll play a video here in a second, but it broke MLS attendance records at 74,479. That's the most for any North American soccer game that has ever been attended on North American soil. It's a big deal for the MLS in general. But when you look at some of the videos that were coming out and how filled up that stadium was with black and blue. Look, this is just a taste of it. The PA system actually went out during the national anthem. So the entire crowd finished the national anthem for them. I mean, that is a stadium full of people. And I get that that's his new passion project. That's his new, that's his new baby. That's his new toy, as Trill One would say. But if you're David Tepper, doesn't that give you a great vision as to what this Panther fan base could look like if you just reinvigorate us, man? If you get this team going and competing like they should and dominating like they should, Charlotte is a sports town. We're a sports town, man. People want to come and be a part of the atmosphere that we have here. And when you have a dedicated fan base, there's no reason like it couldn't be that way for us every single Sunday. Every single Sunday with a loud, boisterous fan base that's majority Panther fans. Like David Tepper was there. In my mind, you have to look at it and go, how was that not a vision for, obviously, one, what his soccer team that he just bought could end up being, but also, man, if you continue to make the Panther fan base excited, we can go back to this in no time, y'all. Being one of the loudest stadiums in the NFL, being known as one of the better fan bases in the NFL, like, it's all out in front of us. And I'm hoping that this put a fire under David Tepper's ass, that this doesn't have to be out of reach for Panther fans to be absolutely packing Bank of America Stadium every Sunday. So I don't know, man. I thought this was a cool moment for Charlotte, a cool moment for Charlotte FC. We're 0-2, so we've yet to catch our first W. But I don't know. I just thought that it was a cool thing, and it showed potential for how you can continue to build a sports city here in Charlotte.
Yeah, I think it's really cool to see that because, number one, I think I'm less excited about the process. I think that there's been so much effort put into trying to get this Panthers fan base to be of the same level of a Chiefs fan base or a Seahawks fan base, but it's kind of fallen on deaf ears to some degree. It's definitely gotten better. I mean, there's an entire organization dedicated to changing the culture, which is the Roaring Riot, if I could speak today. And it's still, you still have empty stadiums. You still have people selling their tickets. I don't know what the solution is. My only reason for thinking that maybe this is like, you see this happening is because right now, this isn't an investment opportunity for anybody. Like the football team, the soccer team is not an investment opportunity. People aren't going to be buying tickets to sell at an inflated price because these tickets probably are pretty affordable, right? Which means what you're seeing in that stadium is all fans of the Charlotte team because number one, it's affordable tickets. And number two, you're not having PSLs with
this is just people that like the experience that first time. This is not real.
Right. But even beyond that, right now, the Carolina Panther, and it's similar to with SoFi Stadium, right? This is literally an investment opportunity for people who've purchased these season tickets. There's a large.
You have to buy are they doing PSLs for that?
Not for this, I don't think. I could be wrong, but I don't think.
How does that would be? I'm interested in that. I'm
not actually sure, but man, I'm trying to find some more videos of it.
I want to tell you this is I don't care. All right, look, I'm gonna be the Debbie Downer of this joint.
Of course.
First of all, soccer, football is like not that cool. Number one. Number two is this. I know it's the world's most popular sport. I know. Everybody's like this. Is my boy, he always says this. He's like, you hate on the world's most popular sport. You're the only person in the world. Nah. But I think this is kind of fake. And when I say no, I don't want to shit on the fans here. This is, again, I'm going back and shitting on David Tepper in this. This is taking advantage of us. These people right here just wanted an experience. Mm-hmm. They wanted to go to a movie. It's like, hey, I saw Greg talk about this one time, or maybe he said this on our show. He's like, I'm going to go see this movie no matter what. I think I was watching your podcast and you said this or something. Mm-hmm. It was like, I like this genre of joint. I'm gonna go, and the movie might be great, it might not be great. I'm gonna go no matter. They already got my money, is what you told me.
Yep.
I think this bazillion fan experience right here is just that. Is people who wanted that experience. Opening night, yes. But here, put together. Look, first of all, I'm not driving to Charlotte to go see this team. I don't like soccer though. But here's the thing is I think this is like groundswell original, and I hope it works out for actually, you know what? Fuck that. No, I hope it fucking sucks. I hope they are terrible. I hope they're terrible, and that forces leverage on David Tepper to make the Panthers better. Well, I don't want to see this guy balance out sucky ass Carolina Panthers football with some basic ass soccer.
Tony, sorry. Be careful what you ask for, bro, because if that happens and he's put this money in this, guess what? This market in Charlotte failed him, and he's going to another location, and he's taking the Panthers with him.
Probably. Bro, if they lose 8 games, man, all right. First of all, like what city? Yes, exactly. And what city is a soccer? Think about how the fucking Carolina Hurricanes have won a Stanley Cup. They have won the greatest honor, but if you go 4 or 5 years without the Hurricanes winning that much, I mean, look, I just think there's not an established culture for the football in professional sports in America, so it's already difficult. I just think this is a portrait right here I'm not overly excited about.
Can I tell you why I disagree? Well, go ahead, Greg.
I was just saying,
trying to do this.
I lived in Charlotte, and I love Charlotte, and to a certain extent, Charlotte is a sports town. Cody, I see what you're saying, but it's kind of not too. Think about it. The Hornets were driven out of town the year they went to the Eastern Conference Finals. So winning wasn't even a big deal, and basketball tickets. When I lived down there, you could get into a Bobcats game for $5. Like, it's people don't want to go unless teams are winning, and even with the Hornets, when they were, people don't want to go to some games sometimes. Now, I know with the Hornets leaving, that was a different type deal. It wasn't just the fans, it was the owner too. Something about them not building a new stadium, so he moved on, took the team away. But I feel like Carolina is a bunch of fair weather fans. They really are. I hate to say it. I love the Carolinas. I lived here my whole life. Love North Carolina. Love the Carolina.
Well,
team.
Isn't every fan a fan? Like, I think every fan base is sort of a fair weather fan.
Every fan base is a fair weather fan base until the team starts winning consistently enough that all those fans come to expect wins. And then you build up these types of.
But it has to be a cultural. It has to be a good. Like, does soccer have the cachet? Is what I'm saying.
Yeah. I
Here, think about this. Is football? Think about this. Is football is the most watched sport in America? Like, I mean, you look at the ratings that they get. Like, and the NFL is the dominant force. Like, I will watch a shitty NFL game over a great baseball game.
Oh, for sure.
Right. Think about that. Like, man, it's Thursday. Like, I mean, look, it's the biggest draw. It's the biggest fucking draw there is on the earth right now, or at least in American society. My point here is this. Is like this picture you put up of this stadium packed is cool. Like, that's a cool moment. But I don't think it's emblematic of what soccer can be. Soccer can never, it don't matter if this was the best 2 soccer teams in the bullshit of, all right, tell me, you put their championship soccer night up, like whatever this is, say this team went undefeated, they did the best soccer shit that has ever happened in the history of soccer, and I would still watch a shitty Thursday night Browns versus Saints game.
But that's over them. That's your preferred.
No, sport. The world. It's not me. It's America.
No,
America would not. Why? Tell me this.
I'll tell you what needs to happen. One, and this is why David Tepper made the investment. Listen, I don't care what anyone says.
Because he just wants to sell soda, bro. He wants to sell beer. He wants to.
No, I don't mean.
He don't give a fuck about these players. It's about getting those butts in that goddamn stadium.
There's one thing that you're missing.
Oh, yeah, because we're all wearing soccer jerseys tomorrow.
No country has better athletes than the United States of America. And if soccer ever did catch on in America,
name one player on this team. Name one player on this team. Tell me his name. Tell me one player on this fucking team. 70. You were up here telling me how 74,000 people here matters. Tell me one player on that team.
You have to make an investment in the football team to get fans excited about it. You have to have a vision for the future about it. I do hope that they're successful, man.
Imagine investing $70 billion or whatever they're going to do, and you don't even know one player on that team.
Tell me.
It's so cool. I'm so ready.
Is irrelevant. If they start to get fucking good, and the MLS actually starts to get big-name soccer players to come and play football over here, dude, there's no reason why Charlotte couldn't have a really big impact in soccer. Also, we have a very large Hispanic community here. We have a very young community in Charlotte. People moving here too. Hey,
Can't wait for them to start cheering for a football player, not a football player.
But Tony, you walked away when I made my main point. My main point was this needs to fucking show David Tepper what the Panthers games could be looking like. That there is no reason why
I've been in a game that looked like this.
Not in a long time.
I'm so tired.
Not in a long time. You haven't seen it like this in a long time. And that's
I feel like this is that the fact
incentive for David Tepper to get the Carolina Panthers on the right track. Because
I agree with you. I agree with you is that we shouldn't be embarrassed as a football team that the football team brings in more soda sales.
Soccer is more fun than baseball. How about that?
Not at all. No.
Yes,
and I'm American, man, and you must hate apple pie. Let's go to the calls. The number is 252-228-5098. The number is 252-228-5098. Cody, I'll tell you later my 3-part plan for fixing World Cup. I have it. Make me the commissioner. Oh, yeah. I will fix
the American team or like the whole thing?
No, the World Cup. I can fix the game. Yes. Hashtag World Cup broken. Hashtag World Cup
fixed. Is this going to be your story about putting jockeys on horses?
Yep, that's it. All right, let's go to the calls. Let's go to the calls.
Son of a bitch.
So what are your thoughts on catcalling?
Yeah, it's pretty. You shouldn't do that to somebody.
And how did that make you feel?
Very uncomfortable.
So how do you think catcalling makes the person feel?
It feels good, like.
Who's that cat sitting in the back corner with his face buried in his nose? Who's that kid that can use one?
Tony, this is your mother Dunn. You know, Tony, ever since you were a little kid, you always wore those little tutus, and I knew that you were always a little out there, but, you know, I should have swallowed. Just
it started funny.
Well, I can't even call you my boy. You always wore the tutus. You know, I should have swallowed. How can you say that can be our next quarterback?
Who?
But Tony,
Gardner Minshew.
I know you've always been cam-sexual, and you know, you've always been talking about Teddy Bridgewater's big D. But Tony,
hey, listen to the show at
you little babushka, you know, Tony, what are you doing? I should have swallowed.
Funny. Not funny.
Crazy, man.
Hey, what's good, fellas? It's Corey calling in.
Corey, what's up, bro?
Not too much to talk about. I don't have no hot takes or anything like that, or any big questions. But I was just looking around, and I realized that Ian Thomas is facing 5 misdemeanor charges, and he has 4 career touchdown catches. And I just think it would be really cool and like really funny if he ends his career with more misdemeanors than touchdown catches, which is a very high possibility because I mean, it's very likely that he doesn't score a touchdown for us next year. I mean, he didn't this year. He only has
and then he gets cut.
In 4 years.
You know,
and then, I mean, if he doesn't do anything this year, it's a very high possibility it's going to be his last year in the league or his last year with significant playing time. So I just think that's a really interesting thing and really neat. And it'd be really cool if it happens.
My man said he could. We paid him $8. All right, this is like so imagine if you gave someone the option to bet a significant amount of money, but they could win a lot, you know. So I'm going to give you this amount of money, but we paid him. We bet on Ian Thomas $8 million, and like the max payoff might be just one touchdown. Like, that's what he's saying. Is like this mug could actually finish his time in Carolina with less than less than the money we paid him and millions of dollars. You paying him to be a tight end? I don't know. You know, the one thing I don't like about the Ian Thomas narrative is like he's a good blocker now. Like, that irritates the shit out of me, is that he was supposed to become better at that. That was his weakness. So you're trying to tell me a guy we drafted and we thought was going to be a pass catching, athletic tight end. It's like, oh, we're paying him $8 million just be a blocker. Might as well fucking pay Manhurts.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, I don't know, man. None of us were very,
I'm rooting for
none
him,
of us were
but,
very happy with Ian Thomas's new contract. Felt that
it's the money. It's not him. It's the money. It's not him. I'm not even trying to shit on him. It's just a little rich, but God bless him. Hopefully, if we hang out, bro, you pick up the tab. 252-228-5098.
It's good, fellas. Corey calling in. Just dropped the Aaron Rodgers news. Just saw that. So I know you guys are probably talking about that. And when I saw it, first thing that came to my mind was call for Jordan Love. Let's go. Let's see what the asking price is. You know what I'm saying?
Great call.
Young
Good call.
Who hasn't shown his full potential in the league. Let's see what we can get for him. But then the next thought I had was, okay, Green Bay is willing to, commit to 150 plus million guaranteed to this. How old is Aaron Rodgers? Like 38, 37, something like that. Like a guy who's obviously near the end of his career. Obviously, Aaron Rodgers is great. He's Aaron Rodgers MVP, all that good stuff. But, somebody who they haven't seen the success with at age that they wanted to see. So, I mean, to me, it seems like they just don't have the faith in Jordan Love. Like, they're the ones that seen him at practice every day. And if they're willing to drop $200 million on Aaron Rodgers for 4 years rather than, have Jordan Love for the next 4 years, I feel like that speaks volumes too. So what do y'all think, man? Would you? I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to the Panthers calling about Jordan Love anyway, because we're calling about fucking Mitch Trubisky and and Kirk Cousins.
Good point.
See if we can get with Jordan Love, but how would you feel how would you feel about Jordan Love as a prospect for the Panthers? Like, do you think that this is more telling that the Packers are willing to sink all this money into Aaron Rodgers at his age, or is it just Aaron Rodgers? You do whatever you can to keep him, and Jordan Love could potentially be somebody too. Let me know what y'all think, man. Appreciate all the content y'all put out, man. Peace.
I think we all would love to know who Jordan Love is. We would all love to know who Jordan Love is. But the Green Bay Packers know that Aaron Rodgers is a straight biz, bro. Like, I mean they're
MVPs in a row. I mean,
yeah, I mean, like, it's like this. Is they'd be silly not to. This contract, though, CK, my mug got $200 million, but 100. My boy sent it to me earlier. It was like 158 guaranteed. He's got 38 million per year guaranteed.
Tell me,
I'm
Cam
rooting for
Newton.
Aaron Rodgers. Like, this dude just fucking broke the bank, man.
All right, but tell me, Cam Newton didn't looking at this and just being like, "What the fuck happened to me?" Like, was it the vegetarian? Was it going vegan? Was that what it was? Because I mean, I'll be honest with you. There's a large study that has been done on athletes that have gone vegan, and a large portion of them have had their careers cut short because of injury, and prior to that, weren't injury prone whatsoever.
Is Aaron Rodgers a meat eater?
I'm pretty sure he is. I mean, I was
like, just wondering, like, is he a super meat eater?
But the difference with him is, like, he isn't like taking the hits like Cam Newton was. Cam Newton was putting his body on the line every single play, every single red zone, everything like that.
Right. We were hoping that Cam Newton would become the greatest quarterback in the history of the world. And he was for us for a moment. But Aaron Rodgers has arguably been the best quarterback. Look, Aaron Rodgers, like, we tried to sleep on him for a year when he got hurt that year, but he has been that kind. Like, he's never been a dude. He's been better than Russell Wilson, and we'll talk about that trade next. We can do however you want to do it. Is that Aaron Rodgers at one point was like, the only reason we don't say he's the best is because he don't got all the championships. Like, that's the only reason. Like, if I pick my player, I'm like, man, I kind of want that dude. Aaron Rodgers has been that guy. And what I like shrewd negotiators. I like a dude who gets his money. And Aaron Rodgers is a diva. He is. Like, you know what I'm saying? He's a me dude. Like, he needs this now. He came into the league. He got fucked. Like, Alex Smith and that whole was so weird. If you went back and watched the Aaron Rodgers draft with the green room, it was so uncomfortable. You know, he's supposed to be picked like in the top 5, and then that's like 28. I mean, it was like, it was a long time. They kept showing Aaron Rodgers. That's all they did, and we didn't have the coverage that we did. They drafted Alex Smith ahead of him. He has played on. Then he went to an organization where he had to play behind Brett Favre. He had to wait his turn. He has played with a fucking arrogant chip on his shoulder the entire time. And he's been a boss, bro. He's a boss. And
he's back-to-back MVP.
Shrewd negotiator. He is one of the few people I ever heard do this, guys. Like right before he got the injury, when he was at the peak. Like, you were like you would draft him in your fantasy league, like top, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you remember when Tom Brady was with Randy Moss, you would pick him in the first round, you'd be fine. Aaron Rodgers was at that peak, and he was trying to get a clause added to his contract that said when Matt's in it, I think it might have been the Matt Stafford deal that did it. So Matt Stafford or somebody signed a deal that kind of reset the market. And Aaron Rodgers was like, fuck that, bro. I'm better than Matt Stafford. He should not be making more money than me. And he tried to get an escalator put in his contract. Anytime a quarterback got paid more than him, he could renegotiate his deal. And people are like, oh, you greedy ass. Nah, that's shrewd. That's good. I like Aaron Rodgers. He's weird. Don't love him. But fuck it, man. That dude balls. And I actually think my quarterback should be a dick. Turns out you don't need to be a good, nice dude. You need to be the arrogant fuckhead.
I think I don't think you need to be one way. Just be a good fucking football player.
Tell me the humble quarterback that won the championship last. Drew Brees?
Nick Foles.
Is it Drew Brees?
Russell Wilson.
Is he?
Yeah, I was just
okay. I'll give you Russell. What year was
Matt
that?
Stafford.
I'll give you that. Oh, well, nice. You just fucked my argument up.
What about the backup for the Philadelphia Eagles? Nick Foles.
He already said it. CK. Then that was way long. All right. 252-228-5098. Let's go to the next call.
What's up, fellas? This is Smooth C from the Electric City.
What's up?
How's it going? Couple questions I'd like to hear your guys' opinions on. One is, what do you think about the Panthers maybe looking at Jordan Love? What do you think about
we got to come back to this. Our last caller said this. We got
another question is, why does it take so long to get y'all's podcast to post on the Odyssey app? Sometimes
because I'm an asshole, and sometimes I forget to do it.
Post. Man. And fuck Joe Biden.
Hey, let's go, Brandon.
Good color.
No, so sometimes, all right, so the way the podcast rolls is we start at 9. It goes to an ungodly time. I download it right after where I try to. And then I have to upload it. It takes like a little bit of time to process. And sometimes I go to bed and forget that's still processing. And I think I post and I don't think about it. And I go on Thursday. I wake up. I'm like, oh shit. Forgot to hit publish. That's what you want to know why? That's exactly why. Is sometimes my ass stays up to an unhealthy time to hit publish. Sometimes I remember in the morning when I wake up, and sometimes this asshole forgets. And on Thursday goes, oh shit. Now let's go back to Jordan Love. Who the fuck knows? That's what I want to know. It's like, who the hell knows? Should we trade for Jordan Love? Should we not? Nobody knows. It is the biggest. It's like, I don't know. Do you want a blind? It's a blind date. That's what it is. It's a blind date.
I agree.
I mean, yeah, listen, it's, when it comes to Jordan Love, he was the type of guy that coming out in the draft had a ton of talent, an incredible arm, but very inconsistent film. I would say far more so even than a guy like Malik Willis coming out in this year's draft. He has been behind Aaron Rodgers for the past, 2 years now. 2 or 3 years now? And I don't know. I think the difficult thing is that you truly don't know what kind of player you're getting, if he's ready to actually step up and be an NFL starter. Honestly, if he's not, I don't think that spells very well for his career. If you're not ready at this point, like, how long would you need? He was hoping that the Packers would be done with Rodgers at this point. I don't know where they go with him. I know one thing, even if you feel like you might be able to get a little bit of juice out of that squeeze, you have to understand there's no way that the Panthers would go for it. They're either going to draft one, or if they're going to go out and get a free agent quarterback or trade for one, they're not going to give up pieces for another unproven quarterback.
Would you say they're not in love?
Yeah, I would say they're really not in love. I would say they're probably not even in like, if I'm being very honest with you. But it'll be interesting to see what they do with him. I don't think it'll be the Panthers, but I do think that someone might try and take a flyer on him.
All right, next call.
Hey guys, Chuck from Elizabeth City, aka Carolina Sports Guy. Oh man, you guys got me riled up tonight. First of all, Bad Daddy, the Charlotte Hornets have never made the Eastern Conference Finals. One of about 3 teams that have never. The Clippers, New Orleans Pelicans, and us have never made the Eastern Conference or Western Conference Finals.
The year they had Baron Davis.
Series before the conference final.
Okay, that might be what I'm talking about.
But the problem with the Hornets is they've never established a winning culture. They've never been able to win more than one series ever in their history. And that's been the biggest problem because it is a basketball stadium. If you remember when the team first came, they sold out like crap. I mean, it was just crazy. Hurricanes struggled very bad. Hockey market, the whole 9 yards. They won the Stanley Cup, fans were there. They started losing again, fans went away. They are getting ready to be 4 or 5 years straight in the playoffs. And that is why that stadium is 90% on more capacity, filled up in Raleigh every game. They have a great team. And I think that's one thing you can look at the Hurricanes. We thought the Panthers the year we were 15-1, had Cam and had Luke. We saw us finally breaking that, never having 2 winning seasons in a row. And we thought we were going to go on a streak of 4 or 5 years in the playoffs in a row and make a couple Super Bowls and win one. And if that would have happened, we would have had fans who would have been stuck like glue. It wouldn't have mattered if we won or lost, like Chicago, like Detroit, like these cities have had teams. And Tony, you're wrong about the soccer team. As boring as it can be, the one reason why it's going to succeed, Charlotte's a hipster town. People love to drink. That game can end 0-0 or 1-0 loss, And as long as people get to sing and dance and go to that stadium, drink a bunch of beer, and be around a bunch of people and just get plastered, they're going to enjoy the experience. And that's why it's going to succeed.
So it's like a minor league baseball game.
Soccer came and not baseball, because baseball is aging out. And I think that's the one sport that we could support, but probably will never get. But anyway, that's all I wanted to say. You guys really got me riled up tonight there.
Chuck, fantastic call,
good
man.
Call.
See,
call.
Chuck, you have the vision that Tony Dunn lacks. That's what I'm saying, man. You get a bunch of people, give them a reason to drink some beer, to sing some songs, to do some dances. Dude, I'm telling you, man, this is going to end up being a great thing for the city. It's going to bring young people into the city, you know? By the way, and just like being around Charlotte, I can't tell you how many people, both male and female, that I've met that tell me that they played soccer in college. You know, soccer is more of a young person's sport, and Charlotte is a young people's city. And you know, I agree with that notion too, that he was saying that if the Panthers would have won, if we would have had that Super Bowl championship, we would have built something here that, you know, could still be going on to this day. So yeah, man, I'm 100% think that this Charlotte FC is a good thing for not only soccer in America, but for Charlotte in general.
Look, I am not as big of an anti-soccer fan as Tony is. I actually don't mind soccer at all. Watching the game's fine with me. It's just not something that I follow. But the way y'all just described what you go to do and have a good time is exactly the same reason that I go to a minor league baseball game here where I'm at. And I can almost guarantee you, yes, baseball is kind of a dying, aging out sport, but I can almost guarantee if you put a minor league baseball team in Charlotte right there.
But they have one. It's the Knights. They got it right there.
Oh, okay.
The Knights is it's right across the street.
Okay.
They're fun. I mean, look, all those sports are just experience only.
Yeah.
That's what they are. They're experience only. Like, there ain't no podcast for the Kinston Wood Ducks.
Yeah, but
I'm sorry.
The caller was talking about Charlotte FC. You get a bunch of people to get into the stadium, give them a reason to sing and dance and drink beer next to one another.
Experience.
Yeah, I think it's going to continue to be successful for.
Oh, it will be,
time.
but it's not going to be like what y'all saw. But anyway, let's go to the next call.
Hey guys, it's Joey.
Joey.
And I gotta ask a question. Tony, what the hell kind of Italian are you if you talk so much shit about soccer, dude? Like, give it a chance, man. It's like soccer is like I always wanted to know why it was so popular, because it is a low-scoring game, and Americans just don't watch. I mean, hell, Americans like basketball, which I don't really like basketball. Like, I tried to get into it, but damn, it's just so fast-paced. All the fucking math you have to do to keep track of the points and who's winning. I don't want to do that shit. I graduated from school in 2019. I don't want to watch sports and do more math. Anyway. So, soccer's great in that regard because there's only one way to score and it's only worth 1 point. But man, Cody is so right. The energy in that stadium, I don't think I've ever experienced. Maybe in 2015, when we when we kept on getting undefeated, like when we kept on winning games, and it was like, the air is, oh my god, like we're so undefeated, like what are we gonna lose? What are we gonna lose? Just do it, get it over with, and like we would be undefeated and everybody would be super happy.
This is my
like Sweet Caroline would play in that stadium and never be empty. Dude, like we had to wait to let 2 or 3 we had to let 2 light rail trains go by because there just wasn't enough room. That has not happened with the Panthers since, I would say, the first half of 2018.
If he didn't roar, I would cut his call off right now.
And now, like 2021, hell, I mean, the trains weren't even that full. I mean, you would get more people on the train for, I don't know, some random art festival.
This is only out of respect, Joey.
But yeah, dude,
that ain't cut
soccer is. I think it'll catch on in 10 years. And you were talking about the Hispanic community. Probably have to call again and talk about this. But yeah, this conversation's right up my alley. I always talk shit about fair weather fans. You better not call me one, because I was in Miami and I still did that roar under the bridge. And
I'm about to call you up.
Wow, wow, wow.
Out of here. Get the fuck out of here with this, Joey Blind Panther. He's blind.
He's mad because this man knows what he's talking about.
No, nothing. Look, I saw this tweet, some asshole, whoever this guy was. And then somebody that was semi-important said, it was like Nick Wilton, or it was like somebody that worked with a radio station. Not like super important. It's not like Adam Schefter. Actually, he sucks too. But they were like, this was the best fan experience I've ever had in the history of Bank of America. Right? Did you guys see that tweet that was floating around where the guy was like, is there anything better? And some people, he said, better or comparable to the NFC Championship game. And I'm sorry. Like, you may have wanted it to be like that. And I'm sure it was a very festive environment. But I cannot in my whole entire life believe that the opening game of a minor league, was it a major league soccer team, whatever. I don't even know the name of the fucking
MLS,
league.
Major League Soccer.
Yeah.
Get to know him, Tony.
The NFC Championship game where we smoked the fucking Cardinals, bro. I was there. Luke Kuechly, like the best season you were, and he was talking about that season of 15-1. We hosted an NFC Championship game, and we beat the fuck out of the Cardinals. That stadium, in the biggest moments, I just don't think an opener for a side sport in America could be anywhere comparable to the entry gate to the Super Bowl for the most popular sport in America. It don't even make sense. So I was at that game and I almost felt uncomfortable, bro. I was in the upper deck, which is fine. I don't mind sitting upper. I mean, I don't love it, but like, hey, I ain't got no problem. You could feel the stadium flexing, bro. Flexing. Like, I was like, oh God, is this bitch gonna come? Like, you were a little bit worried for a moment that mug would collapse. It was dope, dude. Best sporting experience I've ever had. I want to go around the horn. What's the best sporting experience you've ever had?
I had to think about that.
Mine's got to be my experience with. I mean, it's not to the same level, but this is my only time experiencing this in person. And that was the Monday Night Football game during that same season when we went into overtime against the Colts. And Luke got the interception to basically seal the deal and send us home with a dub to keep that undefeated streak alive. That was raining. It was Monday Night Football on prime time.
Yeah, that's got to be a top.
Are we talking best sports experience or best football experience?
No, sports in general, like the best sporting moment you've ever had.
Okay, then I'd have to go with when I was in the Army, the WWE does the tribute for the troops, and I got to sit front row, and I got to meet all the wrestlers and everything.
Yeah,
it was really cool. So that was the best sport experience that I ever had.
What year was that?
It was amazing.
Who were some of the people? Tell us about it.
I got to work out and meet with John Cena. I got pictures and all kinds of stuff. Basically, everybody in the WWE then, man.
What year was that? Like roughly, just roughly.
Was 2000.
10 years, 20 years.
Yeah, 2011.
About 10 years ago. 11 years ago.
Mm-hmm. It was an awesome
experience. Cody, if you got, what's your best sporting attendance?
Yeah, so I've been to far more concerts in my life than I actually have sporting experience.
All right.
But I will say though that in 2010, the UFC came to Charlotte. I was in college at the time.
Is this where you met Joe Rogan?
Yeah, this is where I met Joe Rogan. I met Dana White too.
Nice.
I went to the weigh-ins and I asked Dana White if I could interview him for a project that I was doing in college. So the very next night after the UFC fight was over, I went downtown to Strike City Bowling. It's a bowling alley in Uptown Charlotte, and I went and got to hang out with Dana White, Joe Rogan. I got to interview him. I did a video that's still on YouTube. I might make that public one day. But yeah, I got to interview Dana White, met Joe Rogan, got to eat a bunch of food. Yeah, it was a damn good time.
So like I said,
awesome, man.
That is an awesome experience. It's look, everybody's we could do best. We're not doing best concerts tonight. We'll do that on another night. That will be one of our debate our takes. But I have a what are they? A notable mention? What do they call it? Notable mention? Yeah. I was at this in 1999 during Hurricane Floyd, right? So Hurricane Floyd fucked up Eastern North Carolina, destroyed Greenville, North Carolina. We're out without power for like 2 weeks here or something. I mean, it was like Katrina type environment a little bit, man. You know what I mean? There was this urban legend that somebody rode up in a canoe and robbed the liquor, like not robbed the liquor store, but took all the liquor out of the liquor store. Yeah, I mean, it was that bad. But the ECU Pirates, my alma mater, which I was not even in college then, I was just going to college. They went on the road. We were not on the road. We were supposed to play a home game against Miami, the U, and the U was number 2 in the nation at this time. Right, number 2 in the nation. They were killing it. We had a good. I think this was. Hold up, not Jeff Blake. It was David Garrard was the quarterback. I think. Pretty sure. Might be wrong on that. At that point, it might have been after him. I think it was David Garrard. So we're supposed to play it here in Greenville, but we got flooded out. So we had to go play it in Raleigh at NC State's stadium. We all go there, the U, number 2, and we get beat up in the first half. And then one of the greatest comebacks in the history of small schools, and we upset the number 2 team in the nation. And the Pirates, I think, got into the top 20. Like, they climbed the ranks. Dude, they stormed the field, tore down the goalposts. I mean, it was the most intense, wildest. That might have been the wildest experience I've had. Like, it was like, let's burn this mug down to the ground moment. And we all drove back to Greenville. It was so heroic because we were all in this hurricane. You know, man, it was a lot of, that was a good one too. All right. The number's 252-228-5098. We'll go to the next call. And as I play this call, Cody, go ahead and queue up our next topic for after the call. And we'll get through this.
Hey guys, it's Joey again.
Joey.
Another thing about soccer.
Oh God, more soccer.
There is actually an adaptive form of soccer for blind people. It's actually called blind soccer. That blind people can and do play. There's none of that with football. I love football. Don't get me wrong. I wouldn't be on here if I didn't love football because, like I told you about basketball, I got better things to do than watch a sport that makes me do a bunch of math problems.
What is blind soccer, though? I mean, I have questions.
I just,
like, what do you do?
We're addicted to high-scoring games. This is another thing that's great about football is like you could have a 9-3 game or a 54-51 game. I remember having both of those games. The
I'm
54 to
sorry,
51 wasn't ours.
Joey, I'm cutting you off for this. I'm not cutting you off. I love you more than anybody. Look, he's already got another call queued up. I already see it. So, like, he's called 3 times.
He said, "Put some respect on that Charlotte FC, bro."
No, you know what? As I will go, I would rather watch the blind soccer game than I would whatever regular soccer is. I will go watch blind people try to play soccer.
Dude.
Sorry.
Come on.
What does that mean? What is a adaptation of soccer for blind people?
Joey's gonna have a leg up, no matter what, because like he's already got the roar. Like he's like rah, 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 but he's using that as echolocation. He's gonna
intimidation factor.
He's gonna use it as echolocation for like the ball. He's gonna know where it's at. He's gonna have a heads up, man.
I'm dead, bro. I'm dead. I gotta go watch Blindside. Ooh, and then should you feel like a super voyeur for watching blind soccer? You're watching it. They can't see what they're doing, and
we're gonna get canceled.
I gotta find this video. Hold on.
I'm dead, bro. What is blind soccer? I need to know. I need to see it. And I feel guilty just saying those words. I need to. Oh God.
I would like to watch blind soccer. Oh,
bro, I'm all. Now that I will buy the ticket for. Next call.
Look, C3. Hi, it's Noah here.
Oh, what's up, little Noah? Sorry for ruining you.
Get rid of Christian McCaffrey and trade him for a different team for first round pick. Try to get a quarterback. The quarterback that I was talking about earlier, I forgot his name. He's like under vaccination or something like that. Try to get him, and then see what we can do with the rest of the money that we have. That to get like a linebacker or a right corner or something like that. And I think that's what we should do, because if Chris McCaffrey is missing that many games, like we shouldn't really have him on our roster. There's no one here in C3. I want to know what y'all think on this, and keep trying to.
Shout out to Noah, man. Noah's the man. We're gonna jump on this.
Tony R.
No, I can't stop. All right, stop. Carry me. All right. I'm just to the comments. I can't. All right, keep going.
No, I mean, shout out to Noah. I mean, I think we're all talking about potential trades with Christian McCaffrey, whether or not it's worth it or not. I don't know, man. I told this to Tony earlier. I think if there's ever going to be a time to trade him and get the most amount of value possible, I think now might be that time.
All right, that I will say this is the only. The only way I'm going to field the conversation of trading Christian McCaffrey is on that argument. That's the best one I've heard so far. It's about value now rather than value later. So would having a good player right now truly help you, or are you investing in the future? But here, Cody, you have continued to say on this show for the last couple of weeks, maybe even the last couple of months, is that... So don't get me giggling again.
I'm about to show you a video that's gonna make
but you have tried to, despite your cynicism at times, tell us that maybe we're not as far away as we think. Like, I mean, you said, Deshaun Watson, all of a sudden this shit is popular and good. So it feels so far away. I'm just saying this, is that why trade Christian McCaffrey away for a future asset if you're really trying to win now? And they feel like that.
True. Hey, I have some breaking news. The Panthers just traded for a guard. This is our new guard.
I like him.
All right, well,
Oh, I've seen this shit. Oh, this is good. All right, let's.
This youngster has proven those people wrong. On the
What the fuck is going on?
Dude, I'm gonna go to hell when I die.
Skip that. I can't.
I've seen that joint before. Yeah, it is, bro.
But every time, and dude, he's wearing a Panthers helmet, dude. He's wearing.
I mean, I don't know what to say.
Joey, I love you, blind ass, dude. You're fucking.
We like you. We
have
like
y'all
all
ever-
of it.
Have y'all ever seen the movie Everything Must Go?
No.
It's a Will Smith movie. It's not Will Smith.
Will
Sorry,
Ferrell.
Ferrell movie.
Oh.
Yeah. One of his non-comedic roles. Kind of. I feel kind of that's where the Panthers are right now. Doesn't it feel like we're just kind of sitting in the front yard and everything's in the front yard and we're just like, take it. Like, take whatever you want. People are just kind of coming through and picking what they want with Carolina right now. Like, it's what it feels like for me. I don't know why that movie comes to mind when I think about Carolina, especially with that article of everybody but Brian Burns is for sale. It's like, well, not for sale.
And by the way, just for anyone in the chat room who thought that was too much, I'm disabled. I'm allowed to make disabled jokes and laugh at other funny disabled jokes.
Please tell them, like, what you call yourself you don't call yourself. I mean, but you say I'm a cripple all the time.
You have to be able to laugh at shit like that, man. It's so absurd, man. And shit, Joey knows we love him and his blind ass.
Yeah, he ain't worried. Nah, he knows he's one of us. He knows he's one of us. Don't worry, we ain't that worried. Look, is that if we get canceled, I would love this. Is that if this show got canceled from YouTube, it would mean somebody gave a shit.
Right.
We've been begging for 3,000 subscribers. Don't worry, we ain't getting canceled. We can say whatever the fuck we want. Nobody's nah. We love y'all in the chat room. We love y'all. You know who's listening? Joey. Boom. Every week. The number is 252-228-5098. You can be a part of the family like all these cats in the chat room. Like my crippled wheelman beside me is that, and so I like that. You said this is I can fucking talk shit about you. I got the handicap sticker right here. Thank you. You saved us. You saved us because we could have gotten canceled. You kept us. We could.
Listen, real gangster Crips. We don't ask permission, bro. We don't ask permission.
True that.
And instead of crip walking, I'm crip rolling. Oh,
homie. You got good jokes. All right, let's go to the next call. Numbers 252-228-5098.
Yo, guys, what up? It's me, Connor, back here with my second ever call-in.
What's up, Connor?
I just got a question for you guys. What would you think about this being kind of a little preview for our off season? We re-signed Cam Newton. We signed from Armstead out of free agency. We traded Christian McCaffrey for a first and a second round pick to a different team. I'm not really sure which team that would be good. And so with pick 6, we draft Evan Mills. And with our second first round pick that we get from CMC, we draft either Kenny Pickett or Malik Willis. Tell me, guys, what you think about this. Besides that, I'm Connor.
I love it, man. Dude, these young guys. He's gonna
take over the C3 Panthers podcast. Him and Noah, like you said, are gonna be us in 8 years. We're gonna pass the mantle on to them.
Sounds like good moves to me, man. To Ron Armstead, get a quarterback in the draft. You're able to, if we're able to trade Christian McCaffrey, get an interior offensive lineman to continuously build the football team in the right direction. Connor, we love your cause, bro. You're in the right direction, man. I'm down.
I don't like the Cam Newton joint though.
So what? What don't you like about it?
I don't want to pay. Look, I'm tired of paying people.
Are you done with Cam?
That we don't believe it. No, I'm not. That makes
it's hard. It's hard to say. It's hard to say. I know, but
I don't know, man. Like, I just don't want to add more money to the contract base if you're not really going to move the needle that much. And maybe, like, I would rather cheer for Cam Newton. I would rather see him than Sam Darnold. Hell yeah. I will go to bat for him in any argument ever to this game. But, like, I don't want to, like, I don't know. I mean, like, why do we want to do that to him? I almost want to remember. I just want to remember good Cam.
Yeah.
That's it. I just want to remember good Cam. And maybe one more year might make me think a little of him, not as, I guess, less Cam. But I just want to, I think of Cam Newton like I think of like the first, man, you guys are always like, always making sexual jokes. Like, the girl I lost my virginity to, you know, it's just like,
wrong. Yeah,
it's like I just always, you know what, no matter what, she's always important. Yeah. I don't want to think of her, like, I don't want to meet her now. I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe I'm wrong. And I shouldn't have said that on the heels of no. Gosh, this is why. Oh my God. That's what's going to get us canceled more than anything.
Nah, people love us too much.
Not Noah's mom. Or she hates me. I'm sorry. And I don't mean it like a rude way. I mean, like, we need to be better examples. Better examples to the kids.
I'm a good example.
Kevin from Charleston. Listen, I just saw Cody's mock draft. For the love of God, please don't draft a fucking running back in the 4th round. I mean, I understand we need power back when you get that short yardage and everything, but the 4th round, there's still players in that 4th round we can draft who could quite possibly win starting positions, especially on the offensive line. Like, we don't have that many draft picks. Like, I've been looking at, there's some other power backs we can get in the 7th round if y'all are desperate enough. I'd rather sign a free agent running back for a cheap deal. He's going to be that power utility guy. Because that's what you're going to do. You're spending a 4th rounder on a utility player to come in every once in a while. The dude from Alabama, I can't remember his name. But
Brian
for the love
Robinson
of God,
Jr.
throwing shots running back in the 4th. I've seen offensive linemen there. I've seen safeties. I've seen, you know, everything. Like, literally, you can linebackers. I've seen all these guys who I look at our roster, I look at them, and yeah, they can start. And that's what we need. We have too many holes. No running backs. Unless it's like the last pick and we have traded back so many times to get some extra picks. Like, none. Free agent. Get Marlon Mack. Anybody. I don't give a shit. No running backs in this draft. Peace.
I literally think that he's talking about one mock draft I did and just put up on Twitter, just like, yeah, fuck it, here's this. I mean,
never,
look, my
I didn't know there was so much running back angst in this draft, but I tell you this, I agree. I don't want no more Jordan Scarletts. And they ain't helped our team. Well, what did he do for us?
You want a Cameron Arts Payne, right?
Hell yeah, dude.
If we're gonna be moving on, from Christian McCaffrey, then why not spend it on a serviceable 4th round running back that can do it all?
Because we got Chuba Hubbard, the greatest fucking bum ever.
Yeah, who you can't stop complaining about. So why?
You're ready to over? All right.
Why would we not upgrade that position? I mean, listen, at this point, once you're down to rounds like 4, 5, 6, and 7, towards that end, I'm okay with taking the positions that you don't value incredibly high. So the tight ends, the running backs, yeah, that's when you can do that, man. That's when
I mean, it is late, but the problem is who gives a F right now? Like, we're in such a bad spot. A running back in the 4th ain't helping us. No. I don't know. I mean, like I would have loved for Jordan Scarlett to change our team. I would have loved for, let me think this, Cameron Artis-Payne was another one. He was a 5th, maybe around there. We've done this a few times. I like it. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it sounds cool to do that. But guess what? We ain't had shit, man. The Chuba, man, I'm tired of this. I don't give a CK. Tell them we don't care about none of this until what is fixed.
The offensive line, dude.
That's it. Like, I would rather pick a guard from a small school in the 4th round that has the opportunity of maybe contributing to this offensive line than my favorite player ever, Cameron Artis-Payne. That's my...
Dude, you and your band of broken toys. Cameron Artis-Payne.
You want to download another Buster. You want I said download a draft. A bust, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he wouldn't even be cool.
I wouldn't draft busters. I'd draft some gangsters.
No, you would not, man. You've already
as it needs to be.
Whatever. All right, next call.
Podcast brothers, how y'all doing? It's G Cavassier. Hey, man. Y'all probably already talked about it, but did you see the damn news, man? Wow, Russell Wilson went to Denver, man. Man, oh, man. They gave up a daggone farm to get that boy, man. Was it 2 firsts and 2 second rounders and shit like that? So all the hope of Russell Wilson, you know, coming back to North Carolina, you know, he went to NC State and he transferred to Wisconsin. You know what I'm saying? All that shit's out the damn box, man. And my question to you guys is, do you think we should do something like that for a player we really want to give up 2 first rounders, 2 second rounders, and some players to get 1 person? They sold a farm for that motherfucker, man. And that makes me think, man, like when we played Denver in the damn Super Bowl 50, you remember all them daggone players that got out of free agency, man? I don't know why Tepper doesn't see this shit. I really don't, man. But give me your thoughts on that. What would y'all do after seeing this? Keep pounding.
There's nobody out there I'm trading that for. Not in the position we're in right now.
What? I'd make this trade
I'm not
all
giving
day.
away
Cody has brought me into this fold.
So hold on.
I'm on the back of your chair, Herman.
For? Who would you trade 2?
Who lost this? Is how about who got better? Who got better today?
Oh, Denver got way better today.
That's what the point is.
But
is that you can talk about all of these potential assets down the road. It's like kind of buying cryptocurrency early. Like, yeah, it might be great. Might be great. But I'm telling you this is that the Seattle Seahawks got worse. I don't care what you give them. How many draft picks? The quarterback. I'm on the back of your chair, Cody Lashney. Riding, bro. You taught me this. You taught me this right away. You are the one that taught me this.
Yeah, if you don't have a franchise quarterback, you don't have a chance. And you know, especially when you look at the way the NFL is trending. You know, you look at the playoffs last year. Look how many good quarterbacks we saw light up the field. And, you know, I think that a lot of NFL
Well, what if you don't even, and maybe it's not even if you don't have one. I mean, like, you may have one. Like, we kind of think, like, so we bicker over Matt Stafford. Like, you don't, we love him, you don't love, you know what I'm saying? Like, but he is the guy you think is the guy. At least you have the guy you think is the guy. He might not be the guy, but you think he is. Seattle don't have the guy right now. They have to go find him now.
Well, look at
like
they've literally been inept since Peyton Manning left and you know beat us in the Super Bowl. And when you look at the amount that they've given up, it's worth it. Like, what would you rather be in perpetual, you know, 5-11, 5-10 hell like the Panthers have been in every year in and out? Or would you rather actually spend the amount of requisite money and dollars to go and get your quarterback? The Rams literally just did it the year before. In my mind, this is why David Tepper is still so hungry and thirsty for a player like Deshaun Watson. Whether people like that or not, it means that, if you have a franchise quarterback, it changes the trajectory of your football team.
But didn't the Eagles also do that for Wentz, and the Rams did that for Goff, and you see how that works out? It doesn't always work out.
No, you can't call that because Wentz was a draft pick.
Yeah, but they traded the farm to trade up to get Wentz, didn't they?
That's what I'm saying is that's a unknown quantity. You just traded to get a known quantity in Russell Wilson.
Okay, that's
right. It's like that's the thing that I don't like about what Seattle is doing is they have a lot of now they have a lot more chips to bet with. But that doesn't mean those here, think about this is part and a lot of Seattle's success was on them hitting on a quarterback in the 3rd round in Russell Wilson. And we have celebrated people like Scott Fitter and that tree of whatever the people that found that as being kind of a trend. Like when Scott Fitterer came to Carolina, people jumped up and down and celebrated his name because he was part of an organization. He didn't make this pick, but he was in it. You know what I'm saying? We were like trying to link him to it. That got Russell Wilson in the 3rd round. And that's dope as fuck. It's amazing. But how many people we try to get Will Grier in the 3rd round? Like it doesn't happen a lot. And what I'm just saying is and I don't want to poke my wheelman too much. Love him. But like even the greatest of quarterback picks in Trevor Lawrence is still an unknown.
Right.
He's an unknown in the NFL until he's a known. And Russell Wilson's a known. Aaron Rodgers is a known. Deshaun Watson. I will say this. I'm a little concerned about a year off. Cody, are you concerned about 1 year removed from football being rusty? Imagine how much pressure it would be. I'm not saying week 1. I mean, but do you have any concern that it could be a slow start because of the rust? It's got to be a slow start. He's not going to just come out there throwing his dick on everybody like he did on those massage people.
Well, listen, Deshaun Watson is the man. Say what you want about him off the football field. As a football player, that guy, in my opinion, when he's playing his best, is a top 5 quarterback in the NFL. He is that kind of talent.
not asking that. Could he be? He's not played NFL football in over a year. It's got to be some rust. I'm not saying you don't do it because you're worried about the rust, but you have to be ready for that.
I mean, yeah, listen, if he starts a little bit slow, I've always said this before too, like even when Cam was playing his best football, he was a slow starter. He always got better.
But he didn't take a year off.
You're missing my point. Those first few games, okay, maybe he's a little bit sloppy. I know he's been training all year round. So if he is, I don't expect him to be very sloppy at all.
All right.
While we're talking about this Wilson thing real quick, can I just bring up one more point why I think that sometimes it's situational? I think that maybe what Seattle did worked out best for them. I mean, you got to think about the division they're in. They're in a division with Arizona, with San Francisco, and with Los Angeles Rams. 3 amazing teams. They lost 5 games last year by 3 points or less. If any of those games go the other way, that they got a different season going on. But they've also got a quarterback that Russell Wilson's now 10 years into his career. Like, it's time to rebuild because with those 3 teams in the division, it's going to be damn near impossible unless you have a team built for a championship, which they don't, to even get there. Like, for the next few years, that's going to be the toughest division of football. Like, hands down. So if you don't have a championship-ready team, which they didn't with Russell Wilson, then it's time to start working on building one. And that's why I think it was a good move for them.
Next call.
Podcast brothers, how y'all doing? G Cavassier.
Yeah.
Hey, man.
Hey, guys. It's Joey again. And I want to talk about this Rock Hill thing now.
Oh,
David Tepper.
He's right there.
It doesn't surprise me. I think David Tepper is but Cody, if this is true, somebody might be about a year late and many $1 million short. Not just a day late and $1 short. So I wonder what you got to say about
Look at
that.
that.
And also, David Tepper is a seedy motherfucker. I just have to put that
like
out
a
there.
pro.
He's seedy as hell.
It's a pro
All
move,
billionaires
Joey.
are to some extent. There's no getting around it. But yeah, you got seedy people involved. Seedy shit's gonna happen. I think it'll get built sometime. We might have another year at Wofford or in the bubble, which is good because I'd like to take a trip out to Wofford for a weekend and go to training camp, even though it's hot as the devil's. You know, it's hotter than the devil's deep fried nuts. But anyway, whatever. I'll just deal with it. But yeah, that's my thoughts on the whole Rock Hill thing.
All right.
And
Rob.
Ian Thomas, I didn't know he caught passes. So how the hell did he get a contract? Anyway, guys. Wow.
How does he get the timing right every time? I wonder if he must have a countdown timer.
He has a mental clock in his head.
I know. It's awesome. I mean, like every time. Perfect. Row. Next call.
What it do, boys? Hey, I'm back like cooked crack.
It's sticky.
Yeah, it's your boy Mike. AKA
My man.
What's
that
up,
felt
bro?
good. It's good to be back, boys. I've been taking care of business, at home, just like we all are, but I've just been kind of distancing myself from this crap shat we got going on right now. And oh man, it's okay. We just got to be patient. We got 5 more years to go, right? It's the Rock, Hoba. So let's just be patient. Honestly, at this point, if Deshaun clears, I'd love to have Deshaun. It's just we'd have to give up so much, and at this point, I just say, yo, Matt Rule, you made this motherfucking bed, all right? You're gonna ride it out with Sam Darnold. You're gonna build for the future, okay? That you may or most likely may not be a part of, and we're gonna get this shit right back on the sail. Get it sailing again, all right? Fuck all that shit. I don't want no quarterback, okay? Unless you trade back. That's our only option right now. We got to trade back. Yeah, we can get picks by trading players, but still need to try to trade back, get more picks, because our team is shot. We need help bad, and hopefully we can have some light shed on us in free agency. Okay, that'd be awesome. Hey, here's a fun little stat. How about this? Matt Rule is 10-23 since he begun. All right. Christian McCaffrey has played 23 out of 33 games since Matt Rule started. So, excuse me, he's missed 23 out of 33 games.
Yeah.
And he's only played 10. 10-23. Magic number. What's 23 divided by 10? 7. Because it's going to take 7 years, and that's Matt Rule logic. That's Matt Rule math.
Shit.
Okay? Panther pride till I die.
Oh, shit. Supreme Leader dropping bombs at the end right there. Bro, follow the numbers. That's what they say, right? That's what they say. I believe in you.
Oh, no. I don't know how to think about when it comes to Tepper and this manager, like him picking the team and all that. I feel like we're in a lame duck season. I truly believe that Just unless we go and really imagine this, imagine betting the future, like crazy future. Like, all right, so I am critical of Seattle for trading away Russell Wilson. Greg sitting down there knows that there's some value maybe that you're going to accumulate in doing it, right? So like he's like sitting here looking at the value long term. But you have to think if you trade for Russell Wilson in Denver, you actually got to think you have a competent organization. Here's on top of that, which is interesting, they have a brand new head coach, which is kind of, at least that's cool. At least they believe in them. But do you believe in Matt Rule that much to trade all of this to go get that? And this is what I'm saying here is, like, I feel like Matt Rule is one of our children who just became old enough maybe to go drive the car or stay on their own by themselves. They had shown their maturity a couple of times, and then they fucking burned down the house. And that's what Matt Rule did. Like, I'm not ready to leave Matt Rule my children. And I'm not ready to trade all of this and then Matt Rule be the steward of them. That's my problem.
But if we made this trade, he's going to survive past Matt Rule.
He will, but he will be drugged down by Matt Rule. Like, you're actually, it's like you need to just fire Matt Rule then.
Yeah, well, we all know that should have happened. But I mean, at least then you're going to make this a place where they have the quarterback position set and people want to come and
it
play.
Might save his job though. It might save an unworthy person's job is kind of what I'm worried about. Is Deshaun Watson would save Matt Rule's job, but that doesn't mean that is the right order of events. Like, we should get Deshaun Watson and Matt Rule should be fired. That's what I'm like. What if we get 3 years down the road and we got the great quarterback, but it's just still Matt Fool? And then what are you going to say? You're going to say this. We have a great quarterback, transcendent quarterback, but just like we did with Cam. What are we saying about, like, you know what I'm saying? We had this, but we don't got the GM. We ain't got, it's all a but. And the biggest fucking but right now is Matt Rule's face.
Yeah. I mean, I think that we've also seen scenarios before where our players made up for the lack of talent at our coaching positions. Like, we've seen transcendent players just take over on the football field. And it's all about getting those players back on the field for the Panthers. I don't know, man. I just don't
want to get in the car with Matt Rule.
But look, you said it's another lame
and now he's drunk. I don't want to do that.
You said it's another lame duck year. Well, like, isn't it always? Like, I feel like that's all.
It's not another lame duck year. It is a lame duck year. No, last year wasn't a lame duck year. He should have been fired and he wasn't. So no, he got more time than, like, this year he is either going to succeed, and I don't know what that measurement is, but I think at this point it's a winning season. I don't know. Like, what is the measurement of success that would have Matt Rule keep his job?
9-8. You think
it has to? That's at the minimum. I think that's the minimum. What is how long? How many weeks have I been asking this, Cody? What is the pathway for Matt Rule to keep his job? Like, if you are Matt Rule, that's what I want to know. I want to be Matt. I don't want to be Matt Rule, but actually I do. His bank account is.
Well, it's very simple. It's very simple.
What is the pathway? Like, how does he have his job in 2023?
You have to drastically upgrade the quarterback position. Drastically.
But that's not fair. That doesn't make you a better coach.
I mean, listen, I don't know. A quarterback would have made up for some of the ugliness that we saw last year. If we had a consistent quarterback, that knew the offense, and I mean, I'm not saying that they would have.
Would that make his terrible fucking interviews better?
I mean, dude, look at what Joe. I mean, no, listen, we don't have to do. We know Matt. We know Matt Rule fucking sucks. But if you look at the quarterback position, look at what Joe Burrow was able to do this year behind an offensive line like Cincinnati had. So again, if you have that franchise quarterback, it changes things, man.
Yeah.
And by the way, let's see how the Seattle Seahawks are going to be now that Pete Carroll doesn't have Russell Wilson.
Oh yeah, I know. I think
they're
it's
gonna
terrible
crash
idea.
back
I think
down.
it's the worst idea to let go of your quarterback. That's good, and I think Russell Wilson is still good. But here is something to add to that. All right, so you got the idea of and it just slipped from my mind. What were we talking about? We were talking about Matt Fool,
coaches like Matt Rule, like
all right,
quarterbacks.
Let's go to the next call. I already lost it. I'm gonna come back up in 2 seconds. Might as well.
Hey guys, Chuck from Elizabeth City, aka Carolina Sports Guy. Look, you just showed that clip up there, that little kid playing guard. I swear I had flashbacks of Pat Elfline from this past season. That might have been years ago with Mike Remmers. Please don't play that again.
It just came back to me. I told you I would remember it. But just like that memory disappeared from my head, I saw a tweet today that Teddy Bridgewater deleted his Twitter account, or why? You know who has turned out to be harder on him than Carolina Panther fans? Denver fans. Oh my gosh. They have been relentless on him. Like, they've been all over his ass. Teddy Bridgewater, they said this. He said that the first thing is Teddy Bridgewater said deactivated his account. And then the first comment was, don't worry, he got like 12 burners.
Yeah.
That was the first comment. It was like a Carolina Panther fan up in there. Like, don't worry. No, he may be the least liked. He is the least huggable teddy bear in the history of the world. Next call.
Yo, dog. Josh from Connecticut.
What's up, Josh?
Man, I think we should just suck ass for fucking 3 years, however many years. Let's get Arch Manning in the fucking building, and let's just go on from there. I'm tired of these fucking mediocre quarterbacks.
Is that the kid? Where'd he go? West Virginia, Virginia Tech,
being a Panthers fan. Fuck that shit. Let's just fucking tank for 3 years. Sell the house. Keep everyone, or let everyone go except for fucking DJ Moore. Keep him around. Sell the fucking house for Arch Manning.
All right, man. Next call.
Hey, this is Panther Pickle. Listen, I mashed the hell out of my finger at work today. Spent about 5-6 hours in the emergency room just so some dumbass doctor can tell me it's all right. Stupid bitch.
Well, smash the thumbs up. That's all right.
If you don't draft Troy Anderson in this coming draft, your ass don't know football. And we should trade Christian McCaffrey because, well, there's a lot of people in the NFL that had better year than he had the last 2 years. So y'all have a good one.
All right. Well, I hope your finger gets better.
Man.
Yeah. Hope your thumb gets better as you smash the thumbs up button on this show. Who is this guy he's even talking about? Oh yeah. First of all, it should not be weird that I haven't heard about him. That just means I don't care about any of this shit until it happens. Yeah. Cody, have you ever heard this person's name before?
Troy Anderson? Yeah. So, by the way, this is the mock draft that Kevin was calling in and freaking out about.
What's wrong?
This is what, this is
where he smashed his thumb down in anger.
Well, so I had Malik Willis, and then I took Troy Anderson. So if you didn't know, Troy Anderson, 6'3", 243 pounds. He ran the fastest linebacker time at the combine, right? And you really have
sideline to sideline is what
you really have to look at this dude, because this man started on offense. He started as like a wildcat quarterback, running all over the football field, had a bunch of touchdowns. And then I believe it was his junior year, he decides, you know what, I'm going to switch to linebacker. And he broke records for Montana State. This guy is an absolute beast. He's versatile. He's incredibly intelligent. He tested through the roof at the combine. This guy is someone I would love to have on the Carolina Panthers. I mean, if you look at him, his talent, it just jumps off the screen at you. He reminds me of another Jeremy Chin, but this time playing linebacker. Jeremy Chin came from one of those small schools, but you could easily tell that this guy had real NFL talent and potential. Troy Anderson is another player who's just like that. Ton of talent, ton of potential.
We have to make you our GM, dude. I am on the Cody Lashney GM train because you say a lot of the right things. And that is, you said we have to look at this guy. That's it. Yeah. Like, it's not that we have to draft him. It's not like we have to. I like this idea that you have said in here is this. I'm pivoting it to another thing you say is you look at each draft class individually.
Yeah.
And what you're saying is, and what I love about this is that this is what gets you a Luke Kuechly pick. And this is why I kind of like the Marty Hurney a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Is like the year that Luke Kuechly was picked, Maurice Claiborne was a corner. And he actually turned out to be an okay corner, but he was picked like number 7. I remember Joey wanted him, and I got on that Maurice Claiborne kick. He got the worst Wonderlic score ever, but we're like, oh no, we still love him. We still love him. And Dallas picked him right before us. You know, not like the pick before, but that was the guy we were eyeing. He didn't slip, and we went with Luke Kuechly. It was like the best thing ever. And we were like, oh, no, we got John Beeson. We got Thomas Davis. We don't need this. I love the idea. We at least have to take a look at him. That's it. Yeah. Just don't rule it out of your ethos of drafting. Love that. Because, to be honest, like you can't. That's the whole thing is you got to hit on a player. So don't pick always safe. Make a bet.
But you know, Brandon Bean worked at the ticket booth once upon a time. So I'm thinking maybe I should just go down there and just get in front of someone and see about getting me a job.
Ooh, I like it. I like it. All right. It was a good story. Now I got your back, man. Next goal.
Oh, and by the way, I forgot to add. I wanted to add this in here. Fuck soccer. But you know what? Them lower tap pills, they all right. They'll have a good one.
Wait, what is that?
Is it that lower tap pills? I want to say this is I thought that what's the name of the team?
Charlotte FC.
I thought it was Charlotte Ally.
No, Ally is the logo on the front of their.
It's not a logo.
What is it? Soccer teams.
What is it? Tell me what it is. I thought they were the Charlotte Allies. Oh no, that's the bank. That's the bank sponsor. That's the bank ass sponsor. Another reason I don't like this sport.
So
bunch
FC's
of
a bank.
sellouts. Ally is.
Oh, Ally.
So they're like or at least the jersey I saw on Twitter, and I didn't watch the game. I told you I don't watch this shit. But it says like it might be Alley. Might be Alley. You know, like it's like one of those companies we borrow money from, bro.
Yeah.
Like, we probably all owe Ally. I don't. But here's the thing: is like soccer is like NASCAR, just like fucking ad after ad. It's like, can you put in another ad on my butt cheek? Telling you, Alley, the Mint City Alley.
By the way, if you look at all of the other big time football clubs, like in other countries,
Don't care
they
about
all
them.
do the same shit. They have like
I know. I don't like it. It
Emirates,
doesn't make it better. It doesn't make it better. Did we
Hey
hear this?
guys, Joey again
Did we
for
hear
a
this
fourth
one?
time.
A
And I
fourth,
promise you, I'm
Joey.
not going to talk about soccer this time. What I
Thank
do want to talk
God.
about is the NFL draft. Dude, for me, it's got to be offense first round. I don't want another defensive player in the first round. I know we might need a middle linebacker, but dude, ain't nobody with. There's no championship for a defense to win if you can't keep the quarterback from getting his ass on the grass.
Ooh.
Getting his ass put on the grass. So, just please, for the love of God, invest in the offense. In free agency, maybe you pick up a linebacker like maybe Bobby Wagner, maybe. If he's out. He's going to be released. Okay, do that. But please do something about the offense in the first round. We have not spent a premium first round, like a premium pick on the offense in way too long, in my opinion. The last one I could remember in the first might have been CMC. I don't know. I think I have a feeling there was someone after CMC, but I don't know. The last one I remember was CMC. You guys could correct me on that if you make it through this end of the call, Tony. Anyway, guys. Wow.
I almost cut it off right when he said that. It's funny. All right. Cody, we got any last topics to talk about tonight before we ice people up?
I think
did we cover everything? Man. We did Russell Wilson. We did Aaron Rodgers and his ridiculous bonus. We didn't really do that. Actually, we did in the beginning. Restructuring Panthers.
Yeah,
freeing up some move. I mean, we kind of talked about it. Like, have we missed anything? We talked about Rock Hill. Is there anything?
No, I think we're
Christian McCaffrey. All right. All right, what you got?
Yeah, so I'm just gonna go ahead and just jump out here first.
I hope it's the Arizona Cardinals. Somebody gotta ice them fools up.
Yeah, but I'll let you do it then. So Calvin Ridley suspended for a year by the NFL for making bets and betting on NFL games, including Falcons games. Now, apparently, they bet on him. Apparently, he bet on the Falcons to win. So maybe it's not.
I don't think he was an actor. I think he wasn't playing then either.
But dude, I mean, because remember this season he didn't play because he said he had depression and he needed to take some time off and he needed to get away from the football game. Like, this is during the middle of the season, right? People didn't really even know all the details about it. But I just like this tweet from this guy named Roger Sherman. It says Calvin really bet $1,500 and lost $10 million. Those are the worst odds in gambling history. And they really are.
I mean, really. All right, when you put it like that, it sucks. He needed to get his friend to place the bet for him.
Yeah.
If I would have given you $1,500 and you placed it, this would have not been an issue, man.
But isn't that illegal too? Like, can't you?
That is illegal. It's like
it is trading, illegal, but the sports book doesn't report
way easier
you
to not get caught. Is what Tony's saying, right?
Yeah. I mean, like the sports book actually reported him. Is what someone told me. Like the book that he placed it with was like, "Sorry, I have to tell the NFL you did this."
Well, and by the way,
wait a second, I'm depressed.
Well, Calvin really maintains he bet $1,500 total, and he doesn't have a gambling problem.
I mean, he don't have a gambling problem. What he has is a financial problem, bro.
Can we all say this?
It's not a gambling problem. It's a financial problem.
Going back to that, that 2017 draft, 2017, 2018, whenever they were both drafted, I think we all know now that DJ Moore was clearly the better of the two picks between DJ Moore and Calvin
DJ
Ridley.
Moore had a higher upside. I love this. Is I feel like we just learned the difference between polish. Like
I didn't even know this. Karen Choi put in the chat. Apparently, his name on betting sites.
Oh, shut up! No way.
Karen, is that real?
That's a joke. That's gotta be a joke. That's like a good joke. That's a great.
If that's real, I would absolutely die laughing.
That's amazing.
Could you imagine some shit more dumb?
Oh my god, I'm dead, bro.
But
I can't even recover. I was about to Google. I was just looking up this tweet. All right. Who else got something?
He took
I
mine.
had mine. All right. You don't got one? I was gonna give you the. All right.
I don't want to give that any media, any air. I know what you're talking about. You said
which one?
The one you sent me in the DM.
Oh, I don't even remember which one was it? Oh no, did I send something rude?
No. You sent me a guy commenting on the Batman, making some really racist comments about actors because of the.
Oh man, I forgot about that.
And I was like, no, I started to get riled up about that, but I was like, I need to just lay that to bed because no matter what I do,
it's that this was funny. Is that we should ice him up? Is like he tried to reverse racism, Batman. And say it was black man. That's basically what he tried to call this Batman is black man. It was too black. And it just was like, no, not at all. Like, sorry. Like, I mean, it was so we don't need to ice him up. You got anything better? Like anything worse than him? No. Did you see the Rock Hill? All right, so it's not ice up. It's like this is actually a satire. I sent you some guy. His name on Twitter is Adam_O Daniel, and he put breaking. Rock Hill mayor confirms no more payments to the Panthers. It says, quote, Rock Hill's identity is championship football, the mayor said. Continue quote. I told that billionaire with his hand out that losing might be acceptable in Charlotte, but not in Football City, USA. No playoffs, no payments. It's the best form of satire ever. Is that Rock Hill has canceled construction and there are payments to this billionaire with his hand out because the Panthers suck a D. See, one more ice up is saw this story. It said Courtney Cox admits she doesn't remember being on Friends.
Yeah.
Hold up. I read this story. I thought it was going to be about her just being a drug stupor or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, oh my God. So there's this story that goes around that. Have you ever, Stephen King, there's this movie called Maximum Overdrive. It's got, who's Charlie Sheen's brother? Emilio Estevez in it. Yeah. And it's about like basically electronics, like the toaster comes alive and tries to kill people. Like, electronic machines. Cars start themselves and they're all trying to kill each other, kill people. It's like a fucking awful movie. It's written by Stephen King and it's one or only movies he's ever directed. And it was like the reason he doesn't direct movies at all anymore. And it's terrible. I mean, it's awful. But he has there's this quote where he told some reporter or something. He said, I don't remember directing Maximum Overdrive because I did all this coke. I mean, like, that's what he said. Like, he straight up said, I was in a drug induced state, like he doesn't remember it.
So you
So
think Courtney Cox was just coked out?
No, that's what I would thought. So I clicked the story and I read that this is where the ice up comes in. And there's no reason for her to not remember any of it. And she goes this, and this is a funny. She said, I don't remember anything about my childhood either. She said, I have maybe 2 or 3 memories. And she goes, I've been trying to think if there was a trauma or something that has prevented me from remembering. And she says, there isn't. So I have to ask this, and my ice up question or point, it's a question point. Is she not remembering? Or is she just stupid? Like, if you don't, like, does she just have a bad memory? Like, does she cannot remember it? She's like, I don't remember anything, bro.
Sounds like
it wasn't because she was on drugs. She tried to say, was there a trauma in my childhood that made me forget my memory? She said no. She just don't remember. So I'm icing her up. I understand if you're on drugs. I understand it. She just don't remember.
It's pretty rough. That's a big part of your life.
It's like, I just had this great celebrity lifestyle that no one remembered. Why? Oh, you were getting partied up. You were doing all this. You're having the best. Nah. Just eating pad thai. Forgot it. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Is that it? Is CK around? No, he done. All right. Is that it? We got. Please, can we quit the show?
I think we're good, man.
Anything else? Did we? Quick around the horn. Not quick around the horn. Who's seen the Batman?
So I'm going to see it in a few days. I probably around the end of the weekend. So.
All right. Greg, you saw it, right?
Oh yeah, I saw it last Tuesday. So that's why I missed the show.
I'm surprised you haven't seen it more than once.
I've wanted to. I'm actually have tomorrow off.
You can only see it once. We're still watching it. It's long.
Greg will find a way, dude. His name is literally the Bat Daddy.
There you go. I'm actually off tomorrow. I was thinking about going tomorrow. So
I don't want to overly influence anybody's position. So this is no spoiler. There's no review. Slight review. I like the guy. I like the guy that P's sitting down. What's his name? Robert Pattinson.
I tried to tell y'all that he would be good.
He did a good job. The whole movie, you know what? I would say they set a different tone than we're used to with movies. I like that. Like, it was kind of like they did something a little different.
Look, if on my I did a non-spoilers review and a spoilers review. And on the spoilers review on Friday, my co-host Ross, he described it perfectly. If you like the Nolan trilogy and you think the Nolan trilogy was tactical Batman, this is practical Batman.
Okay. Oh man. All right. So we Cody, we're gonna circle back when you've watched it. Greg, I'm gonna talk to you a lot about that. It was the most arguably the realistic. Like, it almost could happen. Yeah. It is the least sensational version of whatever. So anyway, I love you guys. The number is 252-228-5098. That's 252-228-5098. You can be a part of the longest running Panthers podcast. We're here live Tuesday nights. Cody Lastney jumps up here on Friday nights. I get up in here too when my life is not falling apart. But it's usually crumbling like the Carolina Panthers are crumbling. Ugh. Jeez. But if you want to be uplifted, you can check out the Super Civil Servants podcast the same night, right, Greg? Yeah. What do you guys do?
We just talk about movies, television shows, comic books. I got a guest coming on this week, the creator of a comic. We're talking about Picard season 2 and then Batman after after week 1. Oh yeah, and then the Boys animated show. I don't know if y'all check that out, but it's a bunch of little shorts. Just check that out if you like the show.
Is that the one on Amazon Prime?
Yeah.
Is it good?
I actually have only watched a little bit of the first episode. I'm gonna go binge the rest of it now because I'm off tomorrow. But Anthony Starr, the guy who's the Homelander in The Boys, just got arrested for a year in Spain for assault charges.
Ooh,
like he's in prison.
That was which guy?
I'm sure he'll get out of it. The guy who plays Homelander in The Boys.
The fucking blonde dude,
he just got arrested in Spain. Yeah,
perfect. Crazy. All right, check out the Super Civil Servants podcast. Cody Lashney, my co-host, my wheelman. Thank you for joining me. How can they find all the wonderful things you do?
Yeah, find me on Twitter at Cody Lack, CODYLAC. All my written content is on drafttech.com. We have a brand new mock draft coming out tomorrow, so check that out and check what I have for you on Draft Tech. And then every Friday at 7 p.m., we're going to do the Friday free-for-all. That's where you can join the show, man. I want to continue to meet Panther fandom, C3 family. Come and be a part of the show. You can join the show. I always post the link to the StreamYard. So anyone that wants to come in and join and be a part of the conversation, you are more than welcome to do that. And then we're going to do more of these film rooms. I promise. Tony, I want to try and knock out like 2 of them this week. I've got some ideas for some modifications. We'll talk about them after the show or, whenever we talk about it. And what else? I was going to say something else. Oh, go Charlotte FC.
Oh, my goodness. I will finish this show by saying we love y'all, folks. Come and listen to this show and think about blind people playing soccer. Because you can hear that as these guys try to talk about football. I feel like a blind person playing soccer as I talk about the Carolina Panthers. Oh, I love you guys. Joey, the blind Panther, love you. Love all the people in the chat. 10 Tizzy, you know y'all's names out there. My man shouted you out before, but y'all are friends, man. Look, literally, we have had a tremendous show tonight. Over 100 people viewing at one point. And we were talking about kind of just off news. Love it, guys. A lot of stuff coming up. We'll see you next Tuesday.
Until next time, Panther faithful, keep pounding.